So, in today's stream, as I started the recording for the people watching on YouTube, by the way, I'm currently live in case you weren't aware of that fact. We're going to be continuing the work that we started in this area of the city. And one thing that I wanted to try first that I was given sort of a heads up the other day on Twitter, is that apparently the Hide It mod actually hides things that Network Skins also hides. So for example, let's see. So now we're hiding seagulls. That's why I got this mod in the first place. But apparently we can hide the stop signs, turn signs, speed limit signs. We can maybe hide those. See how everything sort of looks here. I think that actually made an interesting change. Oh, by the way, I also got these robes from Urbanist. He sent me a message the other day and like, hey, you might want to try these out. And I already saw them in the workshop, and I forgot to like subscribe to them, so I did, and they look awesome. Look at this curve, by the way. Like, we have texture curves first and foremost, because usually, is there any examples here? Yeah, like this is not textured. It's like all like nasty. Well, the light is casting in the right angle so that this is all dark, but trust me, this is not textured. This is textured. You can actually kind of see it here. And also this curve is like kind of like flat. It's really nice. Really, really nice. So hide it. Yeah, that's great. I now hidden all those things. Here's an issue that I have here. For example, this roundabout that we did, we have these like 4 lights. I don't really know if there's a way to specifically disable these specific ones without network skins, unfortunately. So we might have to live with this. I tried bringing the nodes together, but that didn't work, and it's also causing some glitchiness factor here. Can I extend this a little bit out? No, this is as good as it gets, unfortunately. We could theoretically like add a little bit of that, but what's probably gonna happen is I'm gonna put a house here. So, but before we do that, why don't we start adding some details here? Or maybe no, let's add a few more houses. I think that's where we want to go. Let's see. I think I see what you mean about the frame rate now. Yes. Yeah, it's not great. I mean, in this area, it's not too bad. I mean, it looks pretty fluid. As long as I look away from the city, we should be fine. So let's bring the house menu here for a second. Actually, you know what? I keep changing my mind about things. I was not gonna do this, but the other day during the live stream, I noticed that we got some new spawns here that were not supposed to be part of this neighborhood. So let's actually fix this real quick. So we have an empty lot here, and I think this one also doesn't quite belong here. So let's get rid of those two and pull up something else, and then we're gonna go back to the other neighborhood. And yeah, sorry that I just destroyed your house, family of 3 and a teddy bear. Apparently, that kid is a little bit grown up for a teddy bear, I think. Actually, you're never too old to own a teddy bear. I don't know what I'm saying. I may have teddy bears under my desk just to keep me protected. All right, so we have this. And let's turn anarchy on. That way we don't destroy what we've already done. This house actually is kind of a perfect fit for here. So we can keep this tree up on the corner. Let's raise it up. Actually, we don't need to do that. We can just do this. Take a look at the backyard. Yeah, like this is actually fits like a glove. So let's move this over there and rotate it. This is the one thing I mentioned this to Q-Boy the other day. I don't know how doable this is, but like clicking and dragging and move it, it's like incredibly slow. It just like brings the whole game to kind of a stop. I don't really know a good way to fix that. If there is even a good way to fix that. I mean, obviously I wouldn't fix that, but he might. He's been adding a lot of improvements to move it, in case you didn't know. He took over from Sam, who also made a ton of amazing contributions to Move It. In fact, he is the creator of Move It, so that would make sense. Okay, I think I'm gonna extend this hedge here. Also, this hedge doesn't look great. We have better hedges now. I think when I did this, we didn't have the good hedges. I'm gonna keep these because they're already there, but let's try these other hedges. Also, I wish that there was a quick way to like reset move it so that I don't have to always go back to the main menu. I have so many requests. Okay, can I do will this like destroy the thing? No, it didn't. Great. So let's grab the node over here, get it extended. My ears are burning. Hey Cuboid, how's it going? What were you talking about? I was talking about how in Move It, when you like move things, it kind of like slows everything down. I don't know how technically feasible it would be to have a patch that, you know, gets rid of that behavior, if that makes sense. Like here, it's like struggling to move things, especially when you move big assets like a house. It really kind of crawls to a halt. All right, so we have that there. And I think I want like a nice front fence here, since everyone is watching this, like as detailed as I am doing this. We can have a fence of this type, perhaps. Actually, you know what? Let's move it right up to here, and now we can potentially double up, and that will sort of bridge the gap between the hedge and this other building that we have over yonder. I think I also want to pave this a tiny bit, except not that. That's fine. Sidewalk is okay like that. Let's add a small oak. I freaking love this asset. It's so nice. Oops. I love it so much that I quit way before I was supposed to plop it down. There we go. Awesome. All right. So I think that one is done. We have another empty plot here. Let's see what we can put in place. The parking reset issue. Oh, is that because of barking? Really? Am I getting that right? Has it gotten any worse in the recent Move It updates? I think it's like equally bad as it was before. I mean, don't get me wrong. I did a whole live stream last week of me playing cities on PS4, so I'm not really complaining. Because man, Move It would have been so useful in the PS4 version of the game. But yeah. Yeah, no, I haven't noticed that it was significantly worse or anything like that. I feel like it's working the same way it always has. So, yeah. All right, so let's put that in there. Also, we don't have any sound effects from the game, right? There we go. Now we do. Yeah. Okay. This bad boy, we're going to need to remove the props. So let's get rid of this hedge. And get rid of the short hedge. And that should be fine. Is this tree like in the middle of the living room? No, it's kind of off. Perfect, off to the side. So we're gonna move this here. And we don't necessarily need to add fences to it. I think that already looks pretty good. This is a nice neighborhood. I would like to live here, especially because just look at the view, man. You can just see the whole city from up here. Especially if you go up to this like trail. Nydal has a lot of like really awesome scenic spots. A large part of the lag is caused by City Skylines resetting all parked vehicles. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, I noticed that whenever you move anything, like cars just sort of shuffle around. That's very interesting. I didn't like connect the dots, but that makes total sense. On every frame, they get reset on every frame. That's insane. Thriz, my man, how's it going, sir? They have been inspired by some mods. Yeah, they should definitely add Move It to the basic game. Well, I think like if they added Move It to the basic game, it will like really like they would have to redo a big part of the game because that will just it changes everything. in terms of game mechanics. So I don't think it's as easy as like, oh, let's just implement a smaller version of Move It. I mean, theoretically, what they could maybe do is like allow you to select a node and maybe raise it up and down. That already would be a huge change for vanilla or the console version of the game. So I don't know, man. Okay, let's go back to our suburbs back here. As you can see, I also extended or increased this avenue to a 6-lane avenue. I don't know if this is actually going to improve traffic or make it worse, but it is now. It's a thing. So yeah, let's start by adding some bike middle decals here, because I want the bike lanes to sort of seamlessly transition between the things. Kind of what I did over here. In fact, these bike lanes, I added network line nodes to connect them, and I think they might not make 100% sense in terms of like how like actual road markings work in real life, but it does make it look less like I just put down the road and forgot about it. So that's why I'm doing this, and in bridging these gaps here, it's part of that. So let's do that real quick. And I think I need to turn... Oh, Cuboid, another feature that maybe would be great if it was on by default. PLT anarchy on. Thank you very much. You know what I'm talking about. I hope you know what I'm talking about. Also, I should probably reduce the distance between these bike lanes. Something like that. There we go. Not too shabby. And let's see, we can do the same over yonder. Nope, not that. Where's the... There we go. That's what I wanted to switch. It's not the bright, perfect, you know, Bezier sort of tangent thing, but it's good enough. The gaps and the decals sort of make up for the fact that it's not perfect. So that's good for me. PLT anarchy on Cuboid. This should be on by default, I think. Yeah. Yeah, what Atis? Is it Atis or Atis? How would you like to pronounce that? Yeah. By the way, cool new city you're working on, man. I was just watching your videos the other day. Good stuff, as usual, of course. If you haven't checked out Addis' work, you should look him up on YouTube. He's done some cool stuff. All right, that's as far as I want to go this way. Let's focus on this. Who's actually the author of this asset that I'm about to put down? Maybe I should send that person a message to like actually do the opposite version of this asset. Unless I already have it. Brick roundabout. Oh, are you kidding me? I had it all along and I never used it? I got so many comments about me using the wrong one, and I thought that this was the only version. Are you freaking kidding me? Okay, I need to replace these now. I'm sorry. In fact, not only that, I will have to, in this particular case, make this larger than it is, which should be fine. But at least all of our roundabouts are going to be standardized now and looking the right way. Oh my god, I didn't know that was a thing. Nobody in the comments ever told me, like, no, dude, there is actually a version that does exactly what you want it to do. Well, I'm glad it exists at least. Stretch this node out so that at least we get, you know, sort of the edges matching that. get this curve going a little bit up. It's kind of tricky doing it this way. What if Move It had like a button where you can select all these 4 nodes and create like a perfect circle between them? Let's see. We need to bring this down. Not a huge fan of how the lights are kind of clipped there, but it's not terrible. I've seen worse. Dude, that looks awesome. That looks really good. Hell of a roundabout. Okay, I think I used it like 3 or 4 times. Also, okay, so here's a question to you, because I honestly, I'm at a loss here. I don't know really how to solve this. So you see all the death waves that we have here. I have crematoriums pretty much spread out throughout the city. I can actually show you that. And I keep going on tangents, but apparently, like, I don't know what's up with them, but hearses are not coming out. Like, a few of them are, as you can see there. So this one, 6 of 7, but like, I don't know. Like, we have plenty of death care coverage. Like, look at the capacity, but it's still like not, it's underserved. I don't know, and we have them strategically located all over the city. And the more I add, like, it doesn't seem to have any effect. So does anybody know why that is a thing? All right. Here's one that I know that we messed up. So let's get that fixed. I can't believe this exists. This is so nice. Now this one's going to be tricky because it's like a 5-6 point roundabout. So I probably won't be able to get it, you know, completely flushed up against the thing. I mean, we can try, but I don't think the notes will be... It's going to mess up everything else I already have here, so that's probably not a good idea. I mean, we're kind of getting there. Yeah, but having so many notes just... Yeah, it's not going to work. Okay, let's undo this. Still want to keep that there. And maybe we can just extend this a little bit out so it's less egg-shaped and more circle-shaped, if that's actually a word. Let's bring the music up a bit, so otherwise it's too quiet when I'm not speaking. There we go. If you massage it the right way, you can get it working. That's true in life in general. Also, I feel like we have a big difference in height here. So wait, only 4 nodes? Oh yeah, because these two sort of connect the same way. All right, so let's bring that up. Why is this kind of clipping there? Oh, because there's glitchiness all over the place. Also, that traffic light is like in the middle of the road, which is not very helpful. You know what? Why don't we just simply straight up convert it to urbanist one-way road? Where is it? This one with a cobblestone. Just adds a lot of detail. I hate that. I really hate that. Yeah, no, this is not gonna work. I mean, it's great for like sidewalks, but in this case, it's actually causing more issues. But I do appreciate the fact that now we have like smaller lights. So you know what? I'm just gonna keep this as it is, because why not? Can I extend this a little bit farther out? Yeah, there we go. That's probably as good as it gets, unfortunately. It's not going to be perfect, but... we need to come back and detail this at a later date. You have 0 vehicles or a low amount? I have like low amounts. They all like spawn at least 1 or 2 vehicles, but that's about it. So like if I put like 1,000,000 crematoriums, it seems to like go down for like the first few minutes and then it kind of goes back to what it used to be. So I'm not entirely sure how that works. Okay, here's another one. And I think, you know what? Let's just apply the same treatment for all these now that we don't have network skins. This little road is much nicer. Let's try to fix the glitchiness in the texture. How close do I need to be for this to actually work? Something like that, except now it's just an oval shaped street. That's probably close enough. Let's get rid of that. Let's go back here, put this down. Actually might be able to extend this a little bit further out, and now I might be able to bring this curve. There we go, that's not too bad. I wish that this texture sort of continued over this patch here, but it's not terrible. Also, what is going on here? Oh man, are these like the rock sprites? I haven't seen these in a while. I thought I had a mod to disable them. Unless that mod was network skins? No, that wasn't network skins. Yeah. Strange, very strange. All right, so we have that there. Where else did I use that roundabout? Oh yeah, over here. All over the place, basically. And let's see. So all these mostly look okay, aside from this one that doesn't, but we might be able to nudge it in place if we move it close enough. Or not. Come on, you can do it. If I go any further like that, nope, doesn't do it. Okay, so that's as good as it gets on this end. It's kind of glitchy, but this one we can extend, so that's good. And honestly, we have plenty of room here. We should be able to do whatever we want. It's not like we're bound by surrounding things. Nope, I didn't want to move that. Well, I guess that's fine. There we go. I am okay with that. In fact, let's select all of these, align them, make sure they're all aligned to the right height. And we also seem to be having some nodes down here, apparently. Let's see if we can bring those up. Come on, select that node, bring it up. Tommy says, hello from North France. Strictoser, how are you? I'm doing fine. How are you, sir? Hope you're enjoying your weekend. Mine's just getting started. I slept more. Actually, I stayed up way too late last night trying to like set up the lights in a reasonable way, and now I ended up with like here's the thing, like whenever I like it's so much easier when I'm recording or streaming at night because I don't have the light coming from this window, but now it's all like green and mushy. Like I feel like I'm properly exposed on my face, but it just looks terrible in the back. So I've been sort of spending my whole night until 3 a.m. working on that, and I woke up and it started streaming right away. My coffee is already 50% cold, so that doesn't help. It's possible to have a building who disappear mod or something. Okay, yeah, do what Addis is saying. So, okay, I kind of forgot about this, but so the title of the stream says Q&A. So feel free to ask questions. Like, basically every stream of mine is a Q&A. I'm not opposed to answering questions constantly, but maybe I figured that if I added that to the title, it would make you guys less shy. So ask questions right away. City Skylines, even if you think it's a dumb question, just ask it anyways, because that will give me an excuse to say things. You know, just make the stream more interesting. And also, your question may not be that stupid after all, and it might help other people as well. There's like 70 something people watching right now, so the chances of improving the life of more than 70 people are, statistically speaking, real, with a margin of error of, I don't know, not a lot. Also, I didn't want to be doing this right now. I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm just trying to get it fixed so that it looks okay, but I mean, it's all kind of wonky. Let's move this up here, raise it up so at least it's visible. Just want to remember that this exists here whenever I actually come back here and tackle detailed work. All right, back to the suburbs. All right, let's add a few more houses. So this area, like I said in the previous stream, I wanted to keep a bit more dense, and as we go up the hill, it's going to sort of start spreading out. That's sort of the plan. So, what is this? Strategic Flats. This is from Muto's series, right? How does this look? Interesting. Are these like modular? Like you actually like put them down and do things with it? How does this work? Let's actually look it up. Oh, these are some interesting buildings. Who made these? Oh, of course, Lost Gecko. That's why they look interesting. Oh, I see. So this is like a floating thing. Why would you have it like that? Just so that it looks nice? Or so you can like fit two? Oh my god. I feel like we're missing some things in here. This is probably like the opposite side, right? If I'm not mistaken. Like if I put this down, this one is shaded on both ends. But why is this one transparent in the back is what I would like to know. Unless this is meant to actually be put down like this? Like clipping them one next to another? Because that could be a thing. Sort of like that. See if we can try to match this line right here to the base of the thing. So we can bring this down like so. It's a very green building. I like it a lot, actually. I think I'm gonna keep this. Okay, so yeah, these are the ground floor and they're different tops. Gotcha. Yeah, I think I have another building from Lost Gecko. Let me actually look it up real quick that works the same way. I think it's like a commercial thing. Where is it? Oh, there's some interesting buildings here that I haven't used yet. Oh, I hate it when I do that. Yeah, this one. The modular shop. Where's that curved building that I just looked at? Yeah, so this one I'm not a huge fan of. I do like the plants, but the actual main texture looks a little bit too flat, and you can tell. Like, I'm not a huge fan of photorealistic textures. So this one I'm probably gonna skip for now. But this one looks great, especially because I think it's using a whole bunch of vanilla assets for props. Tommy says, and one more thing personal: if you're doing a Euro city, what would you like in those Euro cities, and why? And would you like to live in Europe later? Honestly, from all the places that I've been, I by far I love where I live now, because it's like, aside from today, it's like perfect weather all year long, and you know, we have the ocean, we have beaches, we have mountains. You can go skiing if you want. You can go to the beach in the same day if that's what you want. So it's hard to beat Southern California, but I do love traveling to Europe a lot. And one of the places that I've been in Europe that I really, really like is Scotland. So hopefully I would go back there many, many times. But at the same time, there's so many places of Europe that I haven't visited yet. Like, I would love to... Like, Germany, I've only been to Berlin for like a day, or like actually for like a couple of days. And I was like blown away. So I definitely want to go back and explore the rest of the country too. I've never been to Switzerland. I've never been to the Netherlands. I hear a lot of really amazing things about the Netherlands. Never been to Belgium. I've never been to, well, I mean, Eastern Europe. I haven't been to any of those countries, and I definitely want to go visit them at some point. So before I actually make a decision, like a definite decision, like, no, I'm not going to live in Europe, I definitely want to go check out those places. And honestly, it's not so, like, I would rather visit all those places. I don't necessarily have to live in them. Like, if I get an opportunity to go there, I'll probably go just because of the opportunity, not so much the city. So far, I've never been to any places in Europe where I'm like, I'm never, even if I get like the most amazing opportunity, I'll never be here. Like, I'll never live here. So, yeah. I understand those reasons. Here's a snowy day. Yeah, man, it gets pretty cold up there. All right, so this building. Let's see if we can. Oh, I forgot that this comes with the bottom part. Let's put some parking lots in here, which I'm sure the people living in this place will appreciate, or at least like a pedestrian road, so that this is properly connected. So let's grab that there and see if we can somehow nudge this in place. So I want a right angle curve here, and what I'm probably gonna do is move the buildings. So let's do that. Let's try to match this to the thing. Oh, gentrification. Kind of want to keep this line sort of aligned with the sidewalk sort of thing. Not that it matters by any means, but something like that I think works. This is a nice view of this turn into this massive avenue. I was thinking about whether or not we might need like slip lanes here. Slip lanes? I can never say that right. Yeah. You can go skiing in Southern California? Yeah, I can go skiing right now. I have a ski center, like, I have like 3 or 4 ski centers like within an hour and a half away from here. I always like to tell this anecdote. Like, some friends of mine, when they were a little bit younger, this was a couple of years ago, they would wake up early, like at 6 a.m. I've done that with them once. We go skiing at Big Bear Mountain, right outside LA. And then around lunch, we would have lunch there and then drive back to the city, and they would go surfing all in the same day, which is pretty cool. I think I'm gonna add a slip lane here and probably another one here, because I foresee a lot of traffic on this thoroughfare. So let's add one of these. Something like that. What's funny about the weather here is that, like, later this month, like in in late February, you can go to like downtown LA and be like in 30 degrees Celsius weather, and then 5 minutes later, as you climb up the mountain, like the temperature starts dropping and you just see snow on the side of the road, and this is like within a 15-minute drive. So it is kind of insane. And that's one of the things I love about this place too. Oh man, these nodes are like way too glitchy to work the way I want them to. And if I curve this, it's just gonna make it worse. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. I think this wasn't a good idea. I think it's too wide of an avenue, this one. Let's actually fix this real quick. Where was it? I think it's this one, right? Yeah. There we go. Great. So now we have a straight line. Cool. If you're going to the Netherlands, make sure to come to Groningen. It's a very great Dutch city. It's not so busy with Japanese tourists. I actually would love to go to Japan. We were talking to with my wife last night about maybe potentially going to Japan this year, because I've been hearing so many good things about Japan. And the only part of Asia that I've visited is India, so still have a lot of a giant bucket list of places to go. Okay, let's add a few more. Actually, in here, I think we could add some shops. I feel like we need some shops, even though the RCI demands residential. I'm just gonna ignore that and add shops. Is this a shop? This looks like a house, but I kind of like it. See if we can somehow keep those hedges without removing them. I guess I could just do something like this. Yeah, no, we will have to get rid of those hedges. But I do want to keep this fence and maybe stretch it all the way over there. And we want you to be level like that. Man, this is a nice asset. I wanted to have a whole neighborhood that is these kinds of assets. I think it's these are German, but they're part of a set of like mid-rise, not mid-rise, but like 3 or 4 story tall, like kind of fancy houses, like the type of building where an embassy would be, sort of thing. I want to have like a residential sort of luxury neighborhood like that. In terms of parking here, I think I'm gonna get rid of all that because it's kind of not ideal. So let's select that first and foremost. Well, hang on. If I get rid of this fence, maybe I can keep the, here, let's get rid of this. It's too late to do anything now anyways, but if we get rid of that, we might be able to salvage the hedges, perhaps? Not really, though. Unless we actually turn this the way it originally was meant to be plopped. Something like that. It's kind of glitching the floor here, but let's bring this up a touch. Yeah, that is not terrible, except now we're clipping on this side, so we potentially could bring this closer to here. Along this lines. No, I'm not a huge fan of how this looks. I do love the assets, so I think I'm gonna strip down all the stuff that comes with it and call it a day. Just want the entrance to look presentable. There we go. And in terms of alignment, I think we are good there. Or maybe, I think facing the road makes more sense. Man, the cars don't know what the hell is going on. They just keep like switching places constantly. Make up your mind, dude. If you go to Asia, try to avoid Thailand in the summertime. Most people can't handle 32 degrees Celsius with humidity. I mean, I grew up in Buenos Aires, so I'm used to like high temperatures and humidity, but I think Thailand is like way more humid than Buenos Aires. So, yeah, I would like to avoid that if possible. That's another good thing about here. Sorry to keep telling you all the benefits of living in Southern California, but it's like mostly dry, so that's why it rarely gets too cold, even in the winter. All right, props. Let's get rid of the hedges. All of them. Where's the other one? This one. Then we're also going to get rid of the swing set. And we're definitely going to get rid of the parking markers. And we will have to notch the building to update that. Yes, there we go. Cool, so we have that. Let's bring him back. Well, first of all, let's get rid of this. So I think right about here should be fine. Let's grab another hedge. Maybe this boxy one. Yeah, this one's nice because it's gonna cover all the imperfections. Let's bring this up in here. Also, we might need to get rid of that parking sign. Boom. Table, I'm okay with that. We're probably gonna cover it with trees and bushes and things anyway, so it's not too bad. This house here is okay, though we can potentially bring this house closer to there. Not sure how I feel about this backyard thing situation, especially as it's sort of destroying all the balconies, but we could grab like a surface of some kind, like docks, and use that to basically hide the fact that we have a lower level. It's kind of a cheaty way of doing things, but that's what I do. That's the whole point of this. I'm in Hawaii right now, waiting for friends to wake up. Supposed to go on a hike. Oh man, that's another place that I'm like 5 hours away from Hawaii. Why have I never gone to Hawaii? Definitely want to go there sooner rather than later. Dude, that actually looks really nice. So you know what we need here? We need some concrete walls, because that's what we always need. So something like that. Let's just extend it beyond that. Actually, you know what? While we're at it, let's get rid of those tables and things. They're dumb anyways. Grill, go away. And sorry, lady, you just sat on that table, but the table is no more. And there's another hedge somewhere, but we're gonna get rid of it. UK rotary washing line. I don't know what is that. I have no idea what that means. But it doesn't matter because it's probably hidden and out of place. There we go. So now this is like the new entrance for the cars. Could be. We can have some kind of thing like that. In fact, we can bring this right up against the curve here, or the sidewalk for that matter. Bring this up. And now we have uneven terrain, but it's like more even than before. And it kind of serves as a parking space for this house as well as this one. And over here, we could theoretically have maybe more of these buildings. Actually, let's see if we could Let me think here for a moment. We could use some like pools in here, like swimming pools. This seems like a kind of a luxury sort of place where you would have pools, perhaps. So why don't we give that a shot? Also, this one is like way too low to the ground. Let's first get this in place. I know I was measured this based on this white line here, but this looks worse otherwise. So something like that. Is the clipping face visible from the back? No, it's not. Great. Nice car, bro. It's a 2015 though. That wasn't a great year for Aston Martins, of course. Let's see. What do we want here? Do we want? I think I want a hedge, but like the hedge that is not a network. The hedge that is a pluggable, or like a some kind of prop. This one is awesome, actually. And I think we're just gonna extend it right up against that entrance, blocking half the sidewalk here. So we could have something like that. This will be the edges of this building. Actually, we could just add like an extra entrance over there. And if we bring this up here, very LA, no sidewalks. Hey, I've been to neighborhoods in Europe that don't have sidewalks. But yeah, that's very LA. And actually that's very American suburban style. So not a huge fan of that. My neighborhood doesn't have sidewalks, which really sucks. You end up always walking on the little gap between the road and the curve, you know, the concrete section of the curve. That's why like my mind automatically switches or like prefers to walk when I'm not really thinking about it, but it really sucks. All right, so we're gonna add one of you. So now we have a connected path here. Let's put some stairs to good use. This is probably overkill, but let's see. It kind of looks nice, except it's too wide. Do we have a narrow one? This is probably too narrow. Actually, this is probably fine. No, I want to really cover the whole width of the thing. This one is actually freaking perfect. Let's bring this down. I love how flexible these assets are. It's like they were meant for detailing. No, let's just keep it like that, and maybe narrow this thing like this. And we could just add some hedges around it like that. So what we need now is a gate of sorts. That way random people just don't walk into this area. So, oh, this is still way too tall. Hang on, let's fix that. It's probably good. And we can add this gate over here. And right here, we probably want a much larger gate. This one's a little rusty, but let's go with the vanilla gate. Why not? I mean, we have those bollards there, so it's kind of weird having the bollards at the same time as the gate. But unless I can replace this with another type of road, like for example this one, I mean, we do have some ballers there, but this one's a bit too bright also with ballers, so probably not a good choice. We also have this one that actually has parking spaces, and it's a one-way road, so we have that issue, if you can even call that an issue. I have a lot of dead-end roads because of me using this asset, but at least we can maybe do something like that. And now we can go back and add that vanilla gate. We could do something like that. Now we can rotate it the other way and potentially... Yeah, that looks nice. It's kind of overkill, but at least at a glance, it kind of makes sense. What is the name of this tiny road? You mean this one? I think this one is from... I don't know. Actually, I'm not sure if you're talking about this one, but this one is straight up network extensions, as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, I don't know. Okay, so we have our side entrance there. Let's put some... Do we have some tile decals of sorts? Hang on, my mother is texting me. Okay. I think I want to use these ones here. Actually, do we have something that sort of matches this other texture that we have going on here? Yeah, I guess we could use this. Let's grab it and put it in place. I'm over detailing this area. I usually don't go this crazy with the amount of details, but since you're all watching, might as well. Mom's don't text you for fun. Yeah, she's apparently she's having issues with Premiere where she's sharing my account. So yeah, I will have to give her a call once I'm done. Actually, my mom is great. She like really doesn't. She's not like overly protective or anything like that. When we talk when we feel like talking, so that is actually really good. Okay, pool. We don't have a whole bunch of pools. Ooh, what is this pool? Private pool. Kind of already added a lot of decals here, but what if I put this here instead? This might work. And that actually kind of serves as the fence that separates these two buildings. Kind of an interesting shape, this one. I could just have it like that. Unfortunately, I can't just do that, but I don't know. This feels a little bit overkill, at least for this area. Let's just pick one of the smaller ones and call it a day. Probably this one. So we're gonna have the something like that. And let's grab a fence of some kind, like a wooden fence, if we have some. That's an interesting fence. How do you know that we had that? Is that vanilla? Never seen that one before. Yeah, I mean, if I overly detailed this area, but might as well go all the way, huh? I'm almost done with this particular build. I just want to add a fence around it, add like a couple props, some bushes and trees and stuff, and then we're gonna move on to other things. This is kind of what I want. I wanted to add like some kind of privacy sort of fence. So let's just add this there. Turn off the snapping, please. Thank you very much. Something like that. Actually, it doesn't make a lot of sense. You know what? No. Bad fence. I do want to maybe extend this just a touch, though. So we can, you know, do something like that. And let's just grab some trees and bushes and things. Here comes the fun part. These will serve as a privacy sort of hedge. It's very easy to overdo this. Bushy. Here comes bushy. And leafy. Bushy and leafy. Okay, so that's good. That thing is sort of glitching in and of itself there. Can we fix that somehow? What if we bring this closer? It's like glitching even more. Okay, great. So if we extend this all the way, kind of like that, just want to make sure that this texture sort of aligns. So we can grab a few of these tiny trees and put them in the right planters, kind of like that. And all we need now is just like somewhat of a large tree, and we should be good here. Could even be one of these. I want something that's a little bit greener than that, perhaps. Not that one, but maybe this oak one is like very low poly, but it's still like one of my favorites. What about this pine tree? I haven't used that in a while. There we go. That's not too bad. We're getting there. What do you guys think? Oh, my coffee's so cold. It's not even iced coffee, because if it was iced coffee, that would have been a different thing. Like, I actually really like iced coffee, but man. Grass. I want to see if I can get that little edge over there. We can even have some like pink flowers, because why not? This is such a green building here. Yeah, there we go. Not too shabby. Maybe move the pole. Rotate it a bit. I mean, it looks fine the way it is now, but let's see if this actually improves it. Yeah, marginally. It's kind of floating up in the air, but not a whole lot I can do about that, unfortunately. That's fine. Great. Cool. moving on with our house plopping spree here. So let's find some ploppables. No, we're finding some growables. And I definitely wanted to continue the medium density aspect of this. This is the same house, so I don't want to keep repeating that one if I can avoid it. This one is... yeah, let's try this one. Oops, keep hitting my mic. That's another thing that I want to get at some point. It's a shotgun mic. That way I don't have to, like, I feel like this is, even though it sounds great, especially for that proximity effect, but I feel like it's this giant thing in my mouth that I'm hitting. In case you didn't notice, like I move my hands a lot. And this mic sort of gets in the way. It sounds amazing, and I'll probably still be using it for when I'm recording commentary for videos, but for live streams, man, a shotgun mic I think is the way to go. And I have my eyes on that legendary Sennheiser MKH 416, I think is the one. It's like $1,000. I'll get it at some point, but I spent way too much on my current streaming workflow. I need to actually slowly get a return on the investment first. And there's still quite a few things that I want to improve before I start tweaking the audio even more. For example, my lighting setup, which I've been complaining this whole stream. All right, so we're gonna have that there. It's a bit of a gap in between these two houses, but it's okay. Let's try to fix that. You know what we could do? Well, no, let's keep putting houses first because I keep changing my mind. This is usually how I record videos. I'm like, oh, I want to work on this thing, and then 5 minutes later, I'm like, oh no, it would be really cool if I did this other completely different thing on the other side of the city. Yeah. Like whenever you have those ideas, you kind of have to act on it because then you forget otherwise. Is this the same house? No, this one is not. So I'm not entirely sure what's supposed to be on this side. Like, I feel like it's kind of weird that this house just sits on its own with that part sort of extruded in the back. Same with this one. And they're all kind of facing the same way, so yeah. Let's try this one. It's vanilla AF. And not only is vanilla, but also has that weird like front entrance thing that if I clip it inside, like if I move it in the middle of the road, then I'm sure gonna get a car parked in the middle of the road, which is not what I want ultimately. That's okay. Do I want to keep this one here? Maybe there. And I can have a much smaller house over yonder. I will get rid of this hedge in a minute, but just want to lay down these houses first. See if I can fit a tiny house of sorts right on this corner. Yeah, I think this sort of works. Bring that up. So we're gonna have some hedges here separating the different properties. Does the game still register extra houses in the same 3 squares? What? If you lose houses that closely, do they still function the same? Yeah, I feel like you can have like 5 houses on top of one another and it will be 5 houses with the same amount of people, unless I'm mistaken. I've never seen it behave in any other way. So, yeah. All right, so this is good. Actually, this one we can maybe move closer to that other one. And now these two can live or coexist side by side. So let's grab some fences in here. And potentially the network fences. Something like that. I definitely don't want to add fences on every one of the things, because I don't think there's really much point in doing that. But this ones that are like, especially the ones that are in the middle of the neighborhood, but like this ones that are like way too visible, especially from when you're looking at it from this sort of angle. Yeah, you want to like spend some time tweaking it, making it look nice. There we go. It's a nice entrance. And while I'm at it, let's just add a few more of these things up in here. 2 should be fine. This guy is just going to have another large tree in the back, and this guy is just going to have some bushes of that kind. Same as this one. There we go. Pretty simple stuff. Nothing too insane. Says the guy who's spent like thousands of hours playing this game. These homes are less European than I'm used to. My uncle's house in Paris has almost 0 yard space. Yeah, but this is not Paris. This is a much smaller city. I've been to neighborhoods like this in France. Like, for example, outside of Rennes, what was it? Saint Gregory or something like that it was called. I spent a couple days there, and the suburbs were like very American. Like all the houses had like a tiny backyard and some fences around it. That's kind of what I'm replicating here. But yeah, obviously in Paris, I'm sure there will be like no backyard of any or parks of any kind, especially being so close to like a dense area. You can see the transition between medium density and low density is pretty sharp. That's why I'm trying to add a few more buildings next to one another here and then transition into up the hills. That's kind of how I was sort of picturing this whole place. But for the most part, I'm just winging it. Just trying to make something that looks European for the most part. Doesn't have to be perfect. Especially because at a glance, you're mostly going to be seeing from this angle anyway, so. All right, so you, sir, are going to go down like that. And up like that. Wow, the frame rate is incredibly better than last time. I guess taking network skin off was a good choice. Oh yeah, no. You're mistaken about that. I mean, performance has improved, but I'm looking at an area of the city that has nothing. Here's what the actual frame rate looks like. I mean, I guess it is not that bad, but it's still pretty choppy and bad. So that's why I'm like focusing on this edge area of the city. Mostly because the frame rate is like amazing and it's much more watchable. Okay, so we're gonna grab some props in here. We're gonna get rid of that. By the way, also would like to remind everyone again that you're more than welcome to ask questions, technical questions about City Skylines or anything else that you may want to know, because this is also a Q&A sort of session. Don't be shy. Even if you think your question is dumb, it probably isn't. And I don't mind answering the same question over and over again, and you know, might help other people watching as well. So shoot. Is this the same house? It's not. But it has a giant backyard that I really don't want to plop. See, these like cube house. I read clubhouse, but they're gonna be awesome once I put them down in another neighborhood. Just have a whole neighborhood of these houses. I think it's gonna look great, except for that muddy road. Let's see. This one is the same as these other ones, so let's just do that. I'm not a huge fan of how these two roofs sort of intersect, but I also am not a huge fan of these like empty gaps here. So yeah, kind of have to find a middle ground, between the things. Actually, I might be able to put this down here, right? And now we'll potentially bridge that gap much more gracefully. Yeah, that kind of works. So as you can see, we have like a mixture of different building heights. But it all kind of comes together, if I do say so myself. These ones have like a way too long of a extended back, which I don't know how I feel about. Oh man, it's really coming down now. So far the power has been not going out a lot. Like the other day it was like really windy. And even though all the cables in my area are like buried underground, it's still like when it's too windy, I think like high tension power lines might suffer from problems, so they just shut off the power preventively. But so if the stream goes down suddenly, you know why. I doubt it will be the case because it's just raining, not super windy. It is a little windy, but not a lot. Anyways, that looks very interesting. Kind of a hole there, but we'll address that. First of all, by removing this. This doesn't help. And actually, while we're here, we can have like a shortcut for people. I always like doing that so that pedestrians can walk to their closest location. We have one here with the staircases, so might as well do another one here. I'm sure they will appreciate that. So let's bring this here and bring this there. I'm kind of trying to use this light as the unit of measuring, as a ruler of sorts. Where's the stupid prop? Why is it not being selected? I guess it is now. Come on, go up, go up, go up. Why is this not going up? What is going on here? I'm trying to delete whatever I have selected. Okay, I deleted that. Let's try to select it again. All right, so we have that selected. And see if we can bring that up. Yes, we can. Great. I don't know what was going on there. Let's see. Your FPS is phenomenal, even in the most dense areas. Thank you, Taser. Yeah. It's not terrible, but it's also not amazing. I'm surprised of how much I was able to optimize things. But I obviously don't go too crazy with details as you guys are in your projects. Like, I've seen some of the stuff you do. It looks insane, but I don't know like how your press can actually get anything done with that frame rate. So kudos to you. this down enough that is somewhat visible. There we go. Have you tried the new filter options in the loading screen mod? I have not. What do you mean exactly, options? I know there's like, I mean, I have this on always. This is the one I don't have because it's like a manual thing and I don't want to deal with any manual things. I think you like pick the props that you don't want to load and you like blacklist them of sorts. But yeah, all these ones I always have them on, so I'm not entirely sure what you mean. And also those are the defaults, so. How are you making money? I thought you made a pretty city that might be income positive. Yeah, I'm actually making like 3,000 or yeah, almost 4,000. I don't know. I never pay attention to this ever. It just works. I don't know. I have an equal amount of shopping, industrial, residential, default taxes, like all that. I never touch any of that. Also, this is like unlimited money anyway, so yeah. If I'd be wasting so much time or spending so much time detailing things, I can't really look at this. Also, this is not, you know, the base game simulation is kind of not amazing, so I really don't bother with it too much. All right, so that car is there, which I think should be fine. Let's grab another house and see if we can get a nice transition here. This one doesn't look very European. Looks more American than European. But it's like kind of in the middle, so it could potentially fit. This one definitely looks American. What about this one? Kind of also. This one could work. I mean, I feel like it doesn't fit the houses around it, but there's always that crazy guy that just builds a random house and gets away with it in terms of city planning. What I don't like is the red. Let's see if we can change the red to some other color. Like gray. Yeah, something like that works. Let's see. I never scroll this far down. Like, this is such a weird house. I always seen that. It just makes no sense. But I'm sure it's like based off of a real house that looks that ugly. You could also have some modern stuff, like every once in a while. It's probably not a bad idea to include some of those. In this case, I'm just going to add a more classical one. Right there. And you know what? These two, let's bring them there. Or actually, let's bring this two closer. And we might be able to squeeze in a road here that could potentially serve as a parking road. So we can have something like that. Actually, so, you know what, this one, let's move this one over here. Get that there, and now we move this one here. Maybe bring it up just a touch. And we can bring this one, can bring that one up there and double it slightly. Let's see if we can match the windows. There we go. Something like that. And now we could potentially add a parking lot road back here for these houses, and basically all the other houses around it too, so pretty good stuff. What is the function of the loading screen mod? Okay, that is a great question. If you don't know what the loading screen mod is, it's an essential mod. If you want me to go in detail about this, I actually already did a sort of a tutorial that's on my YouTube channel of essential. There's like 5 or no, there's more than 5. There's like 10 mods that are like essential, even if you play with vanilla assets, that are really recommended. One of them is loading screen mod. Loading screen mod does a lot of things. One of the things it does is it optimizes your loading process. What that means specifically is that you can, first of all, it analyzes all the assets that are part of your city. It combines textures that are repeated, so you don't have to load them twice in memory. That's one of the things it does. Then it also creates a report of all the things that it creates, like an HTML page that's in the game folder with links to all the assets that you use, all the assets that you haven't used in your city but you're still subscribed to. Also all the assets that are missing components, for example, props or things like that. It just gives you a whole range of information about the stuff your city is currently running. So it's very useful, especially if you want to debug things in terms of you know, broken mods and things. Not broken mods, but broken assets and things like that. So highly recommended. And of course, it will improve your loading times significantly. You also want less steam, which is another mod that you just plug it in. It doesn't have any settings. You just load it in. And what that improves is the connections between the game and the Steam Workshop are handled much more efficiently. So that would also improve your loading times a little bit, especially loading into the menu when you first launch the game. So yeah, you definitely don't not want to use City Skylines without those mods. They're like, even if you're playing vanilla, like in not sandbox mode, you definitely want those mods on. To create assets, what program language do you need to use? So for assets, it's just any 3D modeling software. For mods, I don't know, you can use multiple programming languages. I'm not very familiar with how you actually create mods, but in terms of assets, you can use Blender, you can use SketchUp, you can use Maya, 3D Studio Max, like you name it. There's a whole bunch of 3D apps that you can use. And there's a lot of tutorials out on YouTube and forums and places on how to get started. So yeah, I'd suggest you take a look at those. I wish I could be more specific in that, but I'm mostly a builder and not a creator, even though I have put together some assets for my own projects in the past. But yeah. The assets sound practical. Why isn't it vanilla loading screen mod? I don't know. That's just a mod that I think it's Thale5 who came up with that mod. It's just a way to improve the way the game was working. Not everything is vanilla, unfortunately. See, can I fit some of these guys in here without like taking up too much space? I guess I can put these like in between these houses. Some like EV chargers like that, and I could also maybe put down like 2 of these, perhaps. They kind of don't fit quite right. Yeah, this one is a little bit too much. I guess I could add a few like that. That's probably okay. And yeah. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, it doesn't have to be like a perfect parking lot or anything. Just like a chunk of pavement that we're going to surround with trees and stuff. Let's keep adding houses, and then we're going to take a pass at detailing that area. Let's just maybe add a few more houses around here first. Java is awful. Yeah, I mean Java. I hear, yeah. I've never heard like a lot of good things about Java as a programming language. Slope to steep. I hate that bug or that error. But I guess if you like learn, like if you actually use Java for work or something like that, you're probably like already way too used to it anyways. And I'm sure you can figure things out. So that I guess if you would start learn programming, Java might not be the language, but if that's what you know, it might make more sense for you to start a project using Java than another language, if that makes any sense. Let me grab some globals here. Can I potentially get this? Did I just use this? No, I haven't. Great. So I don't want to repeat myself too much. So this looks like it has a shop, but it's not a shop, it's just residential. But ideally it will be great for these sort of tight turns. So I can bring this up just a touch, and now I can squeeze this in, kind of like so. See if we can bridge that gap. There we go. Oh, we're getting there. Obviously, these ones have less of a backyard as this ones do, but hey, they paid a premium for this, so they deserve it. Maybe. I mean, any language, like if you have a solid knowledge of computer science, learning any language is really not that hard. It's just like learning what the syntax is, but like in your mind, like you know how to program just because you know computer science. Like you know how to do loops, you know how to deal with arrays, you know how to use I don't know, conditionals. Like those kinds of things are concepts that every single or most languages, programming languages have. So as long as you know that and how to like get the feature that you're trying to program in your mind using those like abstract concepts, you can then apply that to any other programming language. So that's, you know, that's usually people who are good at programming, how they deal with this. I wish I knew more programming. My knowledge of programming is very limited. Like I know some basic Ruby, JavaScript, definitely more web-oriented technologies because that's what I do for a living. But let's grab this bad boy. It's kind of large, but I think should work. Now, if we move you there. Kind of bothered by the height of the doors here. It's kind of a steep slope for this giant building, but kind of like how it looks in general. Let's see if I can, maybe if I bring this down, kind of like that. That door now turns into like a window. Same as that one. See, that is actually much nicer, even though I'm blocking this supposedly storefront. All right, let's keep going. Oh, I really like this house too. Let's see if there's a better spot for this, perhaps. This is actually the spot for this. So we're gonna move this tiny house over here. We're gonna put this down over there. And maybe I can bring this down. That random table there, it's gotta go. I'm pretty sure we're not gonna need that. This looks like the shed of this house, but let's grab some hedges here for a second and try to make this look a little bit nicer by adding some hedges around. this not go down? Yes, it does. I guess I could just put it right here. So now this table, it's like it belongs to this other house instead of this one, and I can just simply do this. And maybe nudge the house so that there's a bit of a ring around it. Man, this table's gotta go. Sorry, table. All right, that's much better. Cool. I saw you misalign a house by 2-3 degrees, but I didn't want to trigger my OCD. There's a lot of houses rotated by, but here's the thing, like none of these are actually perfect by any means, but because none of them are cohesively, they're all like averagely misaligned. So that is like where my OCD sort of like clicks back in and like, yes, on an average, this looks realistic. Even though like if I look at the two houses that are like next to each other on a parallel road are not necessarily parallel, if that makes any sense. Let's see, let's find more houses here to use. Let's see, can we go a little bit higher up in terms of, this one is the one I use over there. I guess I can just try to use this one, for example. We could take advantage of that curve to actually hide the fact that these are not aligned. Digital photo. Man, this is a really detailed texture. I didn't notice that before. It's kind of clipping through the thing, but it's okay. Is that the delivery van? Hang on. Why? What did you just do? Ford Transit passenger discount sales. Okay, I guess the owner of this house is driving a Ford Transit. What a weird choice of vehicle. Let's move it over there. Great. And let's grab a fence here. And we're just gonna put down a fence. Actually, let's grab a hedge because hedges are fun and nice. And now the tiles are kind of clipping through that. So let's see if we can fix that. Yeah, that shouldn't be bad. Great. Let's add some details here. Can I fit a leafy thing? I can, but I want to do something like this, perhaps. I should probably bring the brush down. That's another thing that I wish it was on by default. Cuboid, if you're still around, brush strength 0%. Because otherwise you get like a lot of trees plopped one next to the other, and it's annoying. Get a few of these things sort of scatter around the hedge there, and might as well put a few of these around here. WTF Gaming, thank you so much for the compliment, sir. Keyword there is one off, because I'm certainly not the best by any stretch of the imagination. Actually, the more sort of people get like other people get you know, logging more hours into the game, like the more I notice that the quality in general, especially if you look at screenshots on Reddit, like Holy crap. Where the bar is racing, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Which is good. I like that. Let's rotate this. Let's see. So we want to have some trees around here. Yeah, let's figure this out for a second here. So I think I want a fence, but if one of these fences that's actually a prop. Probably not this one, because this one's terrain conforming, unless... I mean, it doesn't look super bad, actually. Yeah, let's use that instead. See if we can get it aligned the right way. There we go. What is this block of thing? Yeah, that one actually looks pretty okay. I think there's a parking spot here, so that's also a ideal sort of situation. Let's bring this wall a little bit down. It doesn't have to be so high up. Actually, let's just match it with this texture change. We can zoom in because we have camera utilities. There we go, that looks nice. We're definitely gonna have to add some leafy trees around here, so probably something smaller to cover the imperfections for the most part. That's what we're trying to aim for. We can have something like this. No, this is giant. But something along these lines, it's probably fine. There we go, not too shabby. The worst OCD I've seen on YouTube was a person who measured the areas of housing to be exact. Each road length and tangent line had to be exact. Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you do it like 100% like that, it's really hard. It's a lot of work. And I feel like that's more frustrating than satisfying personally, but I understand why they would do that, if that makes sense. I am like that sometimes for other reasons, in terms of, you know, designing things. Should we do some network things? No, let's do some fence things in here. Oh, this one's nice. Mostly so that kids don't fall to their death on this inner cliff that we have here. Always forgot what the shortcut is to like select the thing that I want to select and not this road in the middle. I guess I can just do that. There we go. And let's move this in here. I think we're just gonna do that. And in this case, we're just going to do that. Something like that. It's a nice little pen for cars. Man, this got used really fast. Holy crap. I guess we don't have any parking here. That would explain why. Leafy trees are the best in the game in my opinion. Low poly and ultra detail at the same time. You know what? I 100% agree with that. Leafy trees are freaking amazing. Also, the shade of the green is really good. It's not like overly saturated or like overly desaturated. It's like a very good balance, man. Padelmo is, holy shit, that guy has some talent, man. Your English is really good. When did you move to America? I moved here at a young age and I still randomly say British slang. British English was the standard back in Thailand. So I've been living in the US for the better part of 10 years now. Even before coming here, I used to work really hard on my accent. Like I try to make it sound American. So yeah. I've been actually thinking about taking like accent reduction classes or whatever, or you know, like what you would call that. I don't know if I will benefit from that. I think I will, but should be interesting to try it for a bit. Here they're kind of expensive, but might be worth doing at some point. Imagine if I speak even better than this. All right, let's put down some of these trees here. I also love these trees a lot. They're kind of high poly, but man, they're worth it. There we go. Let's add a few more like back here somewhere. Maybe around here. We're getting somewhere. Let's grab this concrete curve and see if we can somehow have like a nice little edge. Can I raise these? Oh yeah, these ones are the ones that you can raise, unfortunately. That's okay. Should be fine. Just want to have like a nice, even if it's not completely visible, I do want to have like a nice edge here. If I bring this up, no, it's just right below the curve line. That's okay. We can have some of these weeds if I know how to tie. Actually, lantana will probably be a great choice for this area right here. It's kind of floating a little bit, but not too much. That bothers me all that much. Do you mean elocution lessons? No, I actually mean accent reduction. That's the thing. They train actors that come from different countries to reduce the accent a little bit. But I guess I could try elocution lessons. What is the difference between the curve with the E and the one without? I don't know. That is a great question. What is the difference? Curve with the E. I'm guessing this is elevated. Maybe this is the one I actually need. Yeah, this one's elevated. You can see it's kind of floating up in the air. Yeah, this is the one we want. Thank you for noticing that. I never noticed that this has an E in there. I hope Mr. Arnold Rimmer is not watching my stream because he'll be in shock. Super disappointed about me not paying attention to his mod. This is why I like, one of the reasons why I enjoyed streaming so much is because I can not think that hard about things. I can let chat make the decisions for me. All right, let's bring this down. You see, that is much better. If only the grid would disappear when I exit out of Move It, that would be great. I mean, I know it has this option, but it never worked for me. But I think it's not really, I don't think it's I guess Cubo, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's just the way the game works, right? It's not necessarily a problem with Move It. Let's get rid of this extra pavement there. There we go. Dude, this is looking good. I like it a lot. Let's add a retaining wall here with a fence because it's kind of a steep incline. So we want to make sure that these people don't die, you know, in their own backyard. That will be bad for them. Also, I don't understand why this wall's end at a sharp angle instead of like cone like this. That would have been a much nicer transition, probably. I'm sure there's a technical reason for that to be a thing.
You know they're out there, don't you?
Let's bring this down. Terrain is kind of clipping in there, but I'm not too concerned about that. I feel like it adds a more organic look to things anyways. We can bring this up a bit. And this one we can probably extend up to here. Keep getting text messages. I have to take a look at those later on. It's like, yeah, this one I'm not sure I like. Like I'm fine if it kind of grows from below, but from the top it looks a little bit weird. So let's extend it a touch. We're gonna add trees and bushes on the edges anyway, so that's gonna hide the imperfections, but we're getting there. You're right. I did a mod called Grid Beacon, which can turn off the grid at any time. Oh. Good. I need to get that. Leader the Monkey says, but who downloads every mod, Cuboid? Yeah, who does that? Only crazy people do that. Funny they have classes to reduce accents, where most of my doctors were foreign with thick accents. I mean, obviously most people don't take those lessons, but if you're like you know, the only reason why I'm considering it is because I'm like talking into a camera or recording my own voice constantly. If you just had like a barber shop or you're a doctor, you probably, I don't know, you don't care all that much. It's more like a personal sort of growth type of thing. Like a while back I did improv too, and that helped a little bit with, you know, me being a bit more fluent and spontaneous when talking. I feel like that actually adds up to the experience when I'm doing videos or live streams like that. So it really depends on the person for the most part. Okay, I think this whole chunk, since it's such a high thing and you know, such a high cliff, I definitely don't want to add all these retaining walls, but I do want to add some trees to sort of ease the transition and also have some kind of green park of sorts. Before I do that, can I actually fit another house here? Because that would be nice. Our RCI suddenly shifted. I don't know if you noticed that. We definitely have more demands for industrial. I want growable. Thank you very much. Since we're so high up here, I might as well just see if I can get a house like this to look fine. Let's bring this down. Kind of up to that level should be okay. Yeah, this works. I'm happy with that. Definitely need to address the separation between those two houses. Actually, let's add, because we don't have a whole lot of houses in this area, let's add a few more. These ones are definitely much more expensive property, mostly because of their yard and the view of the city, as you can see here. You're able to change. I mean, dude, if you learn British accent and you can, I can't do British accent. Like I can yeah, I can try like a couple of words, which I'm definitely not gonna do now on camera. But whenever I'm like watching someone speaking British English and on TV, and like I repeat the word, trying to mimic the accent for fun. But like I can't go beyond like 1 or 2 words. The fact that you can do American and British while and those are and English is your like second language. Holy crap. That's impressive. What was I gonna do? Yeah, more houses. We need more houses. Hey, Heavily Salty with the 100 bits. How you doing, sir? Or ma'am? I don't know why I always default to sir. That's not good of me. I think I said sir before and you didn't correct me, so I'm assuming you're a sir. These are a bit too tall. Oh, because I'm in medium thing. Let's scroll all the way to the bottom of this menu. See what we have up here. You see, there's some good stuff down here that I never get to because they're so far down the list. These are perfect. Are these like German? They kind of look German. Someone please correct me in the chat if I'm not accurate. I have used this in other places though, but should have used these more often. I want to have a whole row of these guys, one next to the other. Also, where's the door in this building? Is it in the back? Yeah, I guess it's in the back. Which, I mean, if we turn around, yeah, no, that's probably not a good look. They could be German. Okay. They're like borderline German. Let's leave it at that. All right, so we can bring that up there. I wanna try to match the height of these so they're all like aligned. See if that works. Oh, because they have like different textures, which I guess it's fine. It looks really nice. Definitely want to switch to another type of house immediately after this one, just to break the style a little bit. This house with the driveway. I guess no, you're gonna be moved up here, bro. You're gonna be fine. Trust me. There we go. Kind of clipping the whole thing. And let's push one of these. Something like that. Just a row of medium to low density housing overlooking the cliff. This is, like I said, going to be surrounded by trees and stuff. It could be Austrian. Yeah. Yeah, he is a sir, and he's doing splendid. Yourself? I'm doing pretty good. Having fun. I'm. It's like one of those days when you're like doing detail work, or at least doing anything in City Skylines, and everything like kind of clicks. Some days it's just brutal. It just doesn't. You're like putting down buildings, and it's like this doesn't look great. But yeah, so far I've been on a very inspirational spree in terms of designing things for the city. How does this look from the back? Still pretty good. Let's see, how do we transition into here? Because I don't think I want to get rid of this house because I spent a lot of time working on the driveway for that house, but I do want to put one of these down. Like immediately over here. And we can put one of these older ones. Like right down here. In fact, I have an idea. So we could have a, let's see, let's find like a building like this, which is commercial. We could have it recessed a little bit like this. Try to match the roof line with the building. I'm not a huge fan of the color. Let's see if we can get like a lesser ugly color. I guess it's pink by default, huh? Can we make it? Actually, yeah, that made it look better. There we go. Okay. So what I wanted to do is actually have like a cafe of sorts here. In fact, we might need to bring this down, or at least closer to the road. So something along these lines. So we can have a few like tables here. I know it's kind of weird having like a cafe in a residential area, but we're so close to. Actually, I don't know. Does that make sense? I mean, there's still some like medium density stuff happening here. Why not have a whole bunch of tables and have like a boulangerie or something like that? Will that make sense? Let me know if that makes sense. There could be a small coffee shop there. Okay. I mean, why not? Thing is that there's not going to be like a shortcut for pedestrians coming up here, so that feels a little bit weird. But yeah, I guess we could have like a small commercial center here. Let's see if we can add a bit more density. So maybe get rid of this. Also, another thing that I noticed that I don't know if it's a bug or, I mean, it's clearly a bug because it happens, but like after a while playing, I don't know which type of key combo I do where pressing B for bulldozer actually opens up find it instead of the bulldozer option, which is really annoying. I really don't know what's up with that, but I wish that wasn't a thing. So this one is more German, like seriously. I know this is French. Yeah, no, you're right. This is not German. Also French. These houses are a bit too old for what I'm trying to do here, so I'm not gonna include them here. This one I'm okay with. Let's put that one there, and let's see. This one is a little bit too tall. I was just thinking that we could have like a tiny commercial area up here. This one is huge, so probably not a good idea. For the people that live in this neighborhood, it'll have like a little grocery, like a neighborhood grocery store and that kind of stuff. But I don't think we have the right assets. This one is insane. Yeah, I don't seem to have a whole lot of... Is this the same one that I just put down? No, this is a different one. All right, let's go with you. And I guess we'll have to quickly switch back to residential to complete this It's part of the project. Scroll all the way down. So yeah, we can have a little coffee shop over here, and maybe we can turn this into a playground of sorts, and most likely move this house a little bit farther away so that it's not so close to everything else. Yeah, timber houses aren't necessarily German. Yeah, you're right. Like that's immediately what my mind goes to whenever I see one of those buildings. Like, oh, German, but it's yeah. In this case, it's not. Okay, let's see if we can gracefully move this farther out. Actually, might be able to raise this up a touch. Kind of glitch over here, but let's see what we can do about that. Definitely not that. What's keeping this so tethered to that thing? I guess I could do something like this. And have this like glitchiness over here. I'm not totally opposed to that idea. We can bring that down. Yeah, that's fine. So what I want to do is go grab a hedge here, probably. And separate this house from this area right here. This one cannot be lowered down, but it can sort of transition gracefully like that. And this whole thing, let's turn this into a little plaza. So we're gonna need, let's see, what do we need for this? Strict dude plays Subnautica. I have not, I've seen people play Subnautica, but no, I've never played it. I know there's like a new version coming up, right? Like Subnautica 2. Should probably check that out. Just for the exploration part, I think it should be fun. So these things, let's search for I guess probable grass will be the way to go. Something along these lines may perhaps work. So this is where I would benefit from using PO. Except I don't have PO yet. I've been asked not to install PO. I might have to erase this though now. Which should be fine. All right, so we have a mostly flat situation here. Let's grab some bushies and put the bushies here. You've been asked to not install PO? Yeah, I mean, temporarily. I've been recommended PO, but I've been asked to not have it on for now. I'm helping beta test some things. That's why I can't use PO. But if I want to keep doing, you know, stuff like this where I need to address, oh my god, where I need to address like terrain heights, I'm gonna have to get PO. Also, I'm not a huge fan of how these windows are like kind of creeping in from there. Let's see if I can improve that somehow without destroying the other end, even though it could be like, yeah, that's actually not too bad. In fact, we can even go lower. Dude, Nydal, god damn it. What are you typing that Nydal keeps blocking you, Maddie? You feel attacked because the PO hate is horrible. Nobody here said that PO was horrible. I was just saying that I was asked not to use it for a little bit. So now I have a great excuse not to use it. But I actually really want to use it. I actually mean that. Let's see. I think what we need here is some probless path. Let's try the Sue. Is this the Sue one? Amusement park. Ah, same thing. Doesn't matter. Oh, that's like way too tall. As the poet Neguchi once wrote, PO is everything, PO is life. Yeah, I don't know about that. I feel like he's being bought by the PO industrial complex. He's just a puppet. And he's trying to get us all to sign into his Ponzi scheme of PO, you know? I appreciate the sacrifice, but if you want to use PO, you can. No, I don't know, man. You said I couldn't use it. So there hasn't been yet a situation where I'm like, oh my god, like the only way I can do this is with PO. But I'm sure it would make things significantly easier. All right, so this needs a PPG, which is the People Park Generator. Just basically a fake park, invisible park that will attract people. And it will look like if this thing was actually a real park. Also, now that I have that there, I don't necessarily need this one anymore. Great. Man, this actually came out really nice. I'm surprised that this works so well without a lot of effort. And definitely without PO. KLNG93. I'm guessing Kling93 says, first time watching or first time catching your streams. Huge fan of your YouTube videos. Thank you so much. Welcome to the stream. You just think you don't need it, but you do. Trust. Yeah. I don't know what that means, Godlive. We haven't seen Strict and Cuban in the same room. I feel like that it's... I don't know what you're trying to say there, but I don't think I want to even know what you're trying to say there. Okay, so we have that there. We have the park functioning. We need to add some decoration to this supposedly coffee table. Also, we need to add water here. What? I think I did this like in the first episode and never like done it again. Oh yeah, look at that. We expanded the city beyond our water network. That's a good sign, I guess. City's growing. Right, that's what it means. Let's just let's go a little farther out. I don't know why I'm trying to keep this at 90 degrees. Who cares if this is 90 degrees? As long as it... What is wrong with these pipes? I think there used to be a hill here. That's why they're all like insanely tall. Are we getting water out of here? Yes, yes we are. All right, let's add a few more of these, and we'll be fine for a short while at least. Can you actually select all these nodes and like flatten them out somehow? You probably could, but holy crap, this looks like a roller coaster of pipes. Yeah, there used to be like a super tall hill here. I think that's what it was. Very strange. All right, going back to the little neighborhood here. Do I have any more coffee? I do have coffee. It's super cold, probably. Ah, that doesn't taste good. I mean, it tastes okay. Like cold espresso is not like amazing. What did you use to control sewage and pollution in Nydal? I have no idea. That's a very good question. I think I have like one of these like treatment plants. Yeah, I have like 3 of these down here, which I need to like. We haven't even started working on industrial. It's been 20 or so episodes of Nydal, and holy crap, we haven't done any of that. So this one is dealing with garbage, I think. The eco-friendly one. What a great name. Here, I'll show you. This whole place is just going to be an industrial area with like probably a harbor or of some kind. Not only, it's not going to be the only harbor by any means, but it's just going to be one of many, and definitely going to be somewhat industrial. And then there's probably going to be another harbor back here, more of a Marina style harbor here in this case. Not entirely sure. Keep changing my mind constantly, but as the city grows, you know, we're starting to put down things in the places where we want them. So that's how decisions are made. So yeah, these deal with water, and I think they also pump water, right? No, for pumping. Let's see. I don't even know how we're getting water into the city. I mean, I obviously have these 3 things, but I think we have more than that, right? We have this thing over here. Yeah, I don't think that these 3 things are the ones actually providing water for this entire city. I mean, we have a 15,000, almost 16,000 population here, but honestly, I don't see any other water thingies. And pollution is fine. That's the other thing that you asked me. Also, I don't even know what this is red. Does this mean that everything is polluted, even the areas where there's nothing around? I don't know how to read this. This looks like it's broken. It says average pollution 0, but it's all brown, so I don't know what this means. Those 3 water towers would provide all your water needs for 16K. Okay. Pollution is fine. Red. Yeah, I know. But I mean, it says 0. Like, what does this mean? Like, these 2 are dark. Sure, I get that. But like, I don't know. Like, why is this like empty land polluted? Makes no sense. I thought there were like more views for pollution. Let's see. Noise pollution. Okay, so there is some noise pollution, 4% on average. Definitely this tower, the clock, like the top of the hour is definitely loud apparently. Whatever this is, government offices. Yeah, there's a lot of noise coming out of here for sure. Let's see. Fire. Oh, I guess we were kind of short on fire coverage in this area. Well, I mean, just in general, we're pretty short on fire coverage, so something to keep in mind. Crime, it's decent. We only have a couple police stations. We only have 1 police station in this whole area. Holy nuts. I guess education is high, so this is not a terrible thing, but man, we should have some police stations up in this area as well. Population, that's fine. I was sure that we had more, like, Sewage, yeah. Landfill. This is like dealing with that perfectly well. Yeah, I don't know. Plop and Eden project real quick. It'll unglitch it at the edge of the map or something. Yeah, I don't have that. I know what it is. I've heard of that before. Maybe I do have it actually. Oh no, it's like a vanilla thing, right? It's why is it all locked? Like I don't. Yeah, this one. I don't know how to unlock it. Also, I'm playing sandbox, so why would that be locked in the first place? Is beyond me. Let's put some tables here. Let's continue our work, because otherwise we're gonna go too off topic. So let's make a cute little cafe here. Try to leave a gap so that people can walk towards the back of this building. Kind of want to arch them in a way that makes sense. Something like that. I've been told that I need to add more cafes and like places like this in the comments of my video, so this is me doing that. And I'm only doing it because I actually agree with you. I do need more of these. What I do need is more like umbrellas and stuff like that, because these ones are, I feel like I'm overusing them. I mean, they look amazing, but I'm definitely overusing them. Also, I'm not sure I want all of these to be the same color, you know? Sorry, different colors. Unless they're all very much different colors, but that actually looks nice. It's like a fancy coffee shop with black umbrellas. I think there's another mod to unlock those projects or something. Yeah, I'm sure there's a mod. There must be a mod for that. Maybe he just doesn't have the unlock all mode. The unlock all enabled. I mean, where is that? I thought I had it, or I thought I had something like that. Is that a mod, or is it like a game setting? I don't see it here. Key mapping, audio. This is like, oh, is it this? Reset key map, reset unique building, unlocking. Is this the one? Oh, I need the actual mod. Oh yeah, no, I don't think I have that. I never use those buildings anyway, so. And let me ask you this. Even if I had that mod, and if I put the Eden project, and I fix the issue at hand, like what impact will it have on my city? I mean, will it maybe tackle the issue that a lot of people are dying? Maybe, probably, actually, now that I think about it. I mean, we can try. I can try getting the mod and reload the game. It will take like 6 minutes, and that will be a nice... Yeah, we can take like a 6-minute break so I can go to the bathroom. I mean, obviously I won't be gone for 6 minutes. I'll be gone for like 30 seconds, but we can reload the game. That might be a thing. What do you guys think? No impact. The pollution map will look fine. Okay. So even if I get it, I won't see a benefit? Let me finish working on this first. Distance too short. I thought I had the mod that disable that. Why is the distance too short? Oh, because it wants to snap back to that. I'm pretty sure I have Cuboid's mod that allows me to not have that issue, but I forgot by now. Stop posting links. Warning. Nightbot, can you just die? Sorry, Cuboid. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Let me finish this real quick. I want to detail this little area. I'm going to get the mod, restart the game, go to the bathroom for like 2 seconds, and then we'll resume, and then we'll see if that actually makes a difference. But first, I want to get this little pen here done, kind of like a children's sort of playground sort of thing, which we actually already have. We have some assets for that. But the problem is those only work when the terrain is like super flat, so I don't know how it's going to behave here. Let me see. Yeah, because we have these ones, which look amazing, but they're a little bit too large. What about this smaller one? I guess we can keep this one as a doggy park and maybe move this one over here. Can I bring it up, actually? Apparently not. I don't understand how this asset was put together. It's like like you can't raise it up, and it like rearranges things in a weird way. Like, I don't understand how that even works. But I could potentially maybe fix this by doing this, or made it really worse. That's another thing that could happen. Can I bring this up? Oh, okay, so that actually makes slight improvements. Yeah, I can keep that, and this will stay as a doggy park of sorts. Let's add a gate. Let's get rid of you, grab the node, move it in there. Let's see what kind of gate can we put in there that would work. I guess we could do that. It's for dogs anyways, right? So it doesn't have to be like super fancy. As long as dogs don't basically run away into traffic, should be fine. Yeah, I kind of like that. This giant thing. I need to disable these from the game. They don't look great. How is it label? I think it's like natural. No. Well, I didn't know these were vehicles. Holy crap. Cable car, maintenance, fire safety, industry, forestry, bicycle, citizen, industry. Does anybody know the name of these things? Camper van. There you go. Thank you. Camper trailer. I'm okay with those. I'm okay with this one too. This one is the one I have an issue with. So you, sir, are now dead to me. Okay. So I want to save the game, and we're going to restart this. Episode 20. We're gonna take a very short break, and hang on, let me try to first get this mod. Unlock all, I think it's called, right? Unlock all wonders and landmarks by Bloody Penguin. Great, so I have it here on the screen. So we're gonna quit this. Let's jump over here real quick. And it's saved, so quick to desktop. I'm gonna take a very short break. Not before I actually restart the game, because it's gonna take a few minutes to load up. And yeah. Quits the vanilla way. Yeah, I mean, I usually like click it a lot and press escape until Windows tells me that it's broken, and that's how I close it. Is there a faster way of doing that? Don't be all like, oh, quits the vanilla way. Is Fresh Popcorn still alive? I think so. Yeah, he has a band. I think that's what he's using. But Task Manager takes forever. Like I need to do this and go like to the other thing and end task, and it takes this long. But if I click random like really quickly, I can achieve the same thing. All right, so I just subscribed to the mod. Let me add it to the collection. That way it stays there. And once I start loading the game, I'm gonna go for a second, and I'll be back. So hold on or your butts. I think I might need to actually enable this in the content manager before I launch the game. Running has a special kills CSL button on the set. Oh, that might be handy. All right. Another thing that I've wished that was always by default is this. Enable by descent and sort descending. That way I can see the top ones. Well, at the top. Do I need to click on any of these things? Can I do this in game? Or do I need to do it now? Here, I'll go back to the main feed for a second. How do I deal with this? Is this fine or? Load, unlock, Alt 2. What does that mean? Landmarks, Leisure, After Dark. I guess, oh, these are like all, I mean, I have all these anyways, so I guess I can just click on all of them. Why not? I already have a mod in my list. Is that what you're saying? I mean, this is the vanilla thing, and I already have it on, but this doesn't unlock the wonders and landmarks, unfortunately, as far as I know. All right, I think we're good, right? We're good. All right, loading the game. I'll be right back. All right. Welcome back. Let me get my headphones. That way I can actually hear what's happening. And I think I want to switch from my cold coffee. Let's see. This is why do I keep doing this to myself? Yeah, no, that's not great anymore. So what I think I'm gonna do is drink some water. Why wasn't I supposed to click on all of them? Like I have all the DLCs, right? Might as well. And they're already in memory, so all I'm doing is unlocking them. What's that with the 3 clocks in the back? I can actually show you. Hang on one second. So I have a clock with my current time, which is Pacific. I also have a clock with Eastern time. And I also have a clock for UTC time. So my idea is to maybe put them back there or probably in front of me. That way I can do time zone math whenever I'm announcing live streams. Yeah, it's kind of cool, huh? I made them, I designed them myself. You can actually see, kind of has the theme of the channel. You can see the camera and everything like there. This is like, I'm doing it just really wrong. There we go. They're great. They're technically on sale on my old merch store. I just designed it there because my current merch store doesn't have clocks. But yeah, if you want to get one of these, I think they're like 20-25 bucks each, something like that. You will help with the channel as well, contribute at least. Let me put them back where they were. Honestly, they're not gonna fall off. There we go. I kind of kept them there just for the like a touch of color in the background. But I really need to figure something out for that. I did get a projector so that I could have like cool backgrounds projected in the background, especially up against these blinds that don't necessarily look great. But the problem is I got like a really cheap one. It was like 80 bucks, and resolution is terrible, but I don't care because it's just for background. The thing is, it's not very bright, so having the studio lights that I have now kind of kills the background. So I need to either get like a much more expensive one if I really want to do that, or ditch that idea and get some RGB lights so that I can put some accent color in the background. I haven't decided that. Another thing that I'm thinking of doing is have like an extracurricular logo, kind of like this logo, just the letters, but like kind of like a neon sort of sign. Not necessarily neon, probably do it with RGB strips. But I don't know, just want something cool in the background because, you know, this is something nice to look at. Yeah, most of you are UTC one. The thing is, like, I added a UTC one because everyone can do the math. So I know that what my time zone is compared to all the other time zones in the US. But I also know that I'm 8 hours behind UTC. So when I lived in Argentina, like I know that's UTC -3. So since I can't really tell everyone, like every single time zone for everyone reading my tweets, I'd rather just say UTC and you do the math. That's sort of the idea behind it. All right, folks, we are back. And let's see if we actually unlock the stuff. Obviously, the game freezes for a moment here. That's normal, apparently. I think since I enable vanilla truce remover, I think it's just causing that, but I'm used to it because I had that behavior before. So technically, we have the Eden project. All right, so what is this required? Also, why is this not... Why can't I put it anywhere? Oh, because the game is still frozen. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It takes a while for things to sort of catch up. Is Argentina time zone the same as Brazil? Yeah. So technically Argentina should be 1 hour after Brazil, but for trading they sort of sync their clocks. So yeah, Brazil and Argentina are -3, and then Chile is already -4, I think. But I think they have like daylight savings time or something like that. So sometimes it's the same as Argentina and Brazil. Uruguay is also -3. Paraguay also -3. They're part of like of a sort of a trade union sort of deal. Like we all have the same passports, or at least aesthetically speaking. Brazil, Argentina, Uruguay, and Paraguay have very similar passports. And you also do need a passport to travel to those countries, if that makes sense. But yeah. Okay, come on, simulation. Takes a little while, but at least we can see some of the stuff we did. I mean, this neighborhood is coming along, man. I'm really excited about this. I might be able to fix this with the clipping path, so I'm gonna give that a shot real quick. I really like how this little parking lot in the back here sort of turned out. I definitely want to add a few more trees once the simulation actually starts. Can I use Surface Painter at this point? Okay, now we're cooking. Let me get rid of that because I don't want pavement on the cliffs. All right, Eden Project. Let's see. Change the scene. Oh yeah, sorry about that. Oops. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna show you something cool. I was trying it last night, and it was like not working. I mean, it was working fine when I was recording. Sorry, when I wasn't recording. But now that I'm recording and streaming, this is probably just gonna crash everything. But I just wanted to show you because it's kind of cool. I am still tweaking it, but it clips like, but it should go like smoothly between the two scenes, but not on this one, but like on this one. You see, that one was a little bit smoother. One more time. Yeah, there you go. Like you have to play it 5 times to get it right, but yeah. Anyways, Eden Project. Yes, let's get this done. So Eden. Now we're talking. So I guess this needs to be plopped alongside a road, huh? You said put it on the corner of a map. So like I can grab one of these islands and put it like here. Does it need power or something like that? Can't even see what I'm doing. By the way, the edge of the map is so trippy. Look at all these trees. Oh, sorry, forgot to change the scene again. I know, I'm sorry. I suck at streaming. Such a noob. Spending so much time like detailing the actual stream, and the guy just stays on the wrong thing. Yeah. All right. So building this large deserves a dirt road, right? That's. Yeah, I guess you don't like it either. That's fine. Let's see if that helps. No, maybe, perhaps. Guess we're gonna have to flatten this out. Brush size, strength. Something like that. All right, so that's there. Is it going to need power or anything like that? We don't know. Now it's got a float. I guess I could do this. There we go. Now it's not gonna float. Multiple problems. Okay, so you need water and you need power. That's fine. So we're gonna give you power and we're gonna give you some water. Hopefully this is enough. And I guess you're gonna need sewage too, right? So let's put one of these there. Just very, like no one's gonna see this ever. Don't tell other people that are not watching the stream that I did this. They're gonna be mad. I'm gonna lose millions of subscribers and views, and nobody wants that. It says working, not enough electricity. Oh, I guess this thing doesn't really work here. That's okay, because I have the perfect solution to that problem. I have this tiny little box that basically will generate all the electricity that the entire city of Nydal will ever need. So that's good. All right, So now we're working, apparently. Raises land value in the city and reduces pollution. Okay, let's take a look at the graphics. Also, let's make sure we bring this back to, I don't know, 5 p.m. So if we go to the data views again, pollution, still the same. I feel like I've been bamboozled into thinking that putting down the Eden project will fix everything, when it clearly isn't doing much of anything. I don't know why it's all brown. Like it clearly, I mean, it has to be glitch because it says 0%. So I'm trusting this value. I'm not trusting the color of the land. It's gonna take a while. Okay, great. That way I can keep doing things. All right, let's see. So this house over here, let's add another fence, but in this case, I want like a stone sort of fence instead of one of the fences that we've been putting down recently. I'm pretty sure I have a stone. I have like a dry stone. I've never used this one actually. Let's see. It's very rural kind of, but I like it though. What do you mean distance too short? I know it's not too short. Let's move it so that it's hugging the pavement here. So we're gonna do this and we're going to do that. Yeah, these people are like, I'm pretty sure they have like a back chat going and they're trying to like troll me all in unison. It's like, no, get the Eden project. It's going to be great. Trust me. Like, just take the time to reload the game. Put it on the edge of the map. Of course, that makes total sense. Ah, stupid collisions. Like, why is this even a feature? This shouldn't exist. So upset. I think I want to maybe curve this slightly. Just so that it transitions more gracefully. This is a nice neighborhood now. Let's put another one of these rocky fences on the other side. Something like that. Oh, we got some bits. Holy crap, 500 bits. LG Hopper 1231 says, just wanted to say hi. Can't wait to, tell you, Jack. Okay, I'm totally misreading that, but can't wait for you to Jack to go back to Stoneblock. Yeah, I can't wait either. I don't know where Jack is. He should be back from Australia, hopefully soon. I haven't talked to him in a little while. I went into Stoneblock server, when was it? Last night, actually. And the power was gone. The reactor was like not working. I fixed it. So now everything is like operational and still producing things. But yeah. I do miss Jack and our little stone block world, so hopefully we'll get to that. I don't know, maybe next week. He said he was going to be gone for like a week and a half, and it's already been over a week and a half. So yeah. Thank you for the bits, by the way. Much appreciated. All right, so this is looking good. I want to add like a layer of larger trees. So let's go back to these little bad boys. We're gonna bring this down, bring that down. Let's double check pollution real quick. Is it changing? I don't think it's just changing. That's okay. Oh, I forgot to get the grid thingy. The grid toggler thing from Cuboid. That's a shame. All right, so we're gonna put a few of these scattered all throughout this area. Something like that. And I guess we need like a path to this back area too, right? Otherwise these lovely people won't be able to get into the back of their house. But okay, one thing at a time. One thing at a time. Let's add regular street tree. We could add like a section of these kinds of trees here for good measure. Also said that I wanted to add like a clipping path here, so maybe we can fix that. There we go. That is fixed. I guess I could just bring it a little bit closer like that. These trees are like too evenly spaced out, so let's get rid of them. Also, I got rid of the wrong thing instead of the thing that I actually wanted to get rid of. But we can do that. Get rid of that tiny bit. Fantastic. And let's get this here and get rid of an extra tree. That way they're like not too perfectly aligned, you know. I want to have variety. In fact, let's grab a small oak while we're at it. Just so that we can get some tree varieties. So something like that, and maybe some bushes. Actually, we could have some of these bushes like more on this side, perhaps, just as a color accent of sorts. We have quite a bit of traffic on this thoroughway now. I feel like we need a fence here though, because it's kind of steep. Also, this giant truck, you shouldn't be here. You're not allowed here. Now, that's kind of a... I don't really know how to fix that, because... like, look at that turn there. That makes no sense. The issue with this is that if I disable that, like, if I set this neighborhood to, like, ban heavy traffic, it would still spawn trucks that need to deliver goods. And then another alternative is to like actually go into AVO and disable this large truck, but then that means that I will not have any type of truck. Yeah, that is some risky truck driver. You got that right. I remember going to this party like forever ago when I was cool and young and used to go to parties. We went to this party in Hollywood. It was kind of like a fancy party at some like mini mansion. I don't know how the hell I managed to get in there, but there's all these people like attending. It was like up in the hills, and all these people like took limousines there, and all the limos got stuck on like, imagine like turns like this, like they were all like stuck, and it was a traffic jam of limos. It was the most ridiculous thing ever. I don't know what they were thinking. I guess they were all drunk, so I guess that would explain. Not the limo drivers. I guess the limo drivers, I don't know what they were thinking, but oh well. Maybe restrict the type of road to make them avoid certain roads and force them to use others. Yeah, but I mean, I could do that, and I already did that in a whole bunch of places. But the problem is they need to still get goods delivered. So I could block this, but then they're going to take some other... I guess I could take this turn and then go around. That could be a thing. That way, yeah. Yeah, maybe let's try that. I don't know. So this segment, no trucks. Maybe that works. We'll see. Honestly, I feel like there's a lot of these that keep spawning. I might as well just disable it. What do I type? DB? Yeah, it's this one. Or maybe just the trailer. Let's get rid of the trailer. There we go. So at least that's more reasonable. Just a truck without the trailer. Is to be like, does that mean like Deutsche Bahn? Is that what it actually means? It's the same like company as the one running the trains in Germany, right? Am I getting that right? Let's grab some more bushes in the meantime. Vanilla bushes, probably not. But these bushes, yes. Deutsche Bahn, okay. We need some flowers. I've been told that Nydal doesn't have enough flowers, so let's add some more flowers. Just a few. There we go. Can add some leafy green here. No, not needed. What we do need is some of these vanilla pots. These are from Green Cities, in case you were wondering. So we can just have some kind of decoration here for this little cafe. Something like that. It's a fancy neighborhood. I love that every minute that I keep adding more details to this, I imagine in my mind like, oh yeah, like the price of the real estate here keeps going up and up. Yeah, that's gentrification for you in a nutshell. Prop less. See if we can get something cool out of this back area. That's nice, actually. So I wonder if can I actually get this to be aligned to that? What if we did something like this? Like, I know people are going to be clipping through this building, but overall, I think having the edge of this path match the doors it's a better thing than that occasionally seeing someone walk through this building. I don't know what you guys think, but that's what I think. And by the way, those that are like joining in the middle of the stream, you've never seen this project. This is Nydal, which is a European-inspired city that I've been working. It's part of a YouTube series, but every once in a while I do live streams like this where I go into greater detail and talk to my lovely viewers in the chat. So if you want to see the creation of this entire project so far, you can go check out my YouTube channel. That's linked down below. And also I try to keep me plugging my own content to a minimum, so yeah. Okay, here I feel like we could do like an overlook sort of type of area. What do you think? We can grab one of these surfaces. Oh, talking about plugging things, I have a Strictoaster shirt that you can also get from my store. You can find it on strictoaster.com/store. Yes, or just strictoaster.com and you'll find it there. Let's see. Let's move this up there and kind of lost my train of thought with all that advertising. So if I can match this to like sort of be centered with that, I think that works fine. We can then go in and add a little bit of, actually we could just straight up use concrete. There we go. And then we're gonna go use this tool with the concrete walls right up there. Trying to like match the thing as much as we can. And do that. So now we should be able to do something like this. So now we have a chunk of concrete protruded out of the cliff. Nydal looks very livable. Yeah, you have no idea how many comments I get from people saying that they want to move to Nydal. It's crazy. I guess it's not that crazy. It's like very like everything is like super clean, like not a lot of traffic, mass transit that goes most places. That's the dream. I can maybe get that there and somehow here, let's do this instead. Can I perhaps do something like this? That way I can end up with an odd shape instead of a perfect shape. I guess something like that. Like, it's not perfect, but oh my god, already? Sometimes it takes like a few minutes, but there's this thing where I press B, like it goes back to find it instead of bulldozer. I really don't know why it's doing that, but all right, so that's fine. I know it's not like perfect, but we're gonna cover that with other things anyway. So let's talk about some tiles that we could add here. They should hopefully address all of the... Actually, you know what? Since we have red tiles here, might as well sort of continue the theme. So let's use these beautiful King Leno tiles. It's kind of hard to get them to match perfectly with the curvy things, but for the most part, it's very livable with all the dead people everywhere. Yes, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, ignore. If you ignore the dead people, it's very livable. All right, so that's good. None of these lines are going to match, but trust me, they're all going to look nice once we put them all together. You see? Pretty seamless. Let's get rid of these sprites on the sides. There we go. It's kind of all of a wonky floor, but it's fine. It's fine. Now we're gonna need some fences that are not terrain conforming, unfortunately. So like something like this actually would work. Actually, I could have straight up used this. Can I? No, because it's not as tall. All right, so we're gonna need to move this back there. Something like that. And like that. And finally, oh my god, perfect match in terms of width. Flawless. All right, so we have our sort of viewing area of the downtown future financial district of sorts. All right, not too shabby. We're getting there. We're getting there. So all that I want to do now, at least in this area, is add some benches. So let's see, what kind of benches can we add that would benefit or improve this location? we grab that and we can have that going. Yeah, they're kind of... I don't want them to be like hovering over the ground if I can avoid it, but... So this one's... definitely have to be there, and this one could be lined up there. It is kind of hovering, but because there's like a gradient in the floor, it is not going to be perfect, but it should be good enough. Let's add a fountain, small one. Don't want to go too crazy here. That will add some detail. Might as well put another one of these things right front and center. So this is aligned with that. So now I need to like rearrange the benches a little bit so that they're all somewhat evenly spaced out. I mean, it's not a perfect shape, so we'll never get there, but at least that looks reasonable. I think these could be a little bit low like that. Let's add some trash cans for good measure. I should probably do that and then move them in place. Why are people moving in super slow motion? Because I have a mod that's called Speed Slider that brings the simulation down to 25, in this case 25%. It helps a little bit with the performance of the game, which as you can see is like not great, but it also makes it so that the camera doesn't move super fast, and that helps. It's definitely more watchable on stream when I have that feature on. So I don't want these trash cans to be like all symmetrical and be like evenly spaced out. I just want them to be more sort of scattered around in different places, kind of like that. So we have that there, and let's see what else. I think we need some planters, actually, is what we need. I've been using these planters all over the place. They're awesome. Maybe a much larger one? No. Kind of prefer the smaller ones. Let's just put them here to sort of hide the imperfections of the curvy roads, if that makes any sense. Try to somewhat evenly space them up and put some small oaks for good measure. There we go. Can I put some like this in here? Probably not. You know what? I think that's fine for now. We're definitely going to add more vegetation below, so it's not going to be just like this. There's also a mod, by the way, that I have installed called Realistic Walking Speed, that even if this is set to 100% as it is right now, you can, you see how fast the camera moves now? You can see that the people are walking at a reasonable speed, and they're not like ice skating on the floor. Look at this. This is a nice little screenshot right here. But yeah, in terms of movement, definitely want to drop that, tap down to 25%. All right, continuing with the vegetation, I definitely want to add a few more trees here. So let's go leafy, which we already established is the best tree ever. And we're gonna add a few of these in various locations. especially down here. Something like that. Definitely don't want to overdo it. It's very easy to overdo it. But for the most part, I just want things to either cover imperfections or put them in places where they're at least visible at a glance. So ideally, I wouldn't like to fill absolutely everything with clusters of trees and grass and things, and keep things at a minimum. But like this one is clearly a mistake, so let's get rid of that. Is the other worm kind of floating up in the air? Yeah, it's very obvious that it is. I think we have some terrain conforming grass somewhere up here. Obviously this is like too much. This one also. These terrain conforming? Yeah, these are actually. So why don't we add a few of these? They're kind of wild, but they look nice. Especially when you're looking at it from the side, but I don't know, it's I think this is a bit too steep for these. I might as well just keep it like that, to be honest. Yeah, let's just keep it like that. I guess I could add some roughness with these guys, just like on the corners. Yeah, that's probably pretty good. All right, leafy trees. I want these tanned trees to sort of be alongside this road climbing up, to sort of cover the hill to some degree. And let's grab the leafy garden. This is also one of my favorites because I use it everywhere. I could get rid of that and just want to add a few patches of these in various places. Combined with bushes of many kinds. Should probably promote you to moderators. That doesn't happen, but I don't know if she's already a moderator on my channel. I already added her as a mod. I mean, I'm sure I did that before. It says that I just did now, but sorry, Maddie. You are a mod now. I thought you were before. I remember the last time this happened, last Saturday. I made you a mod. I guess you are now. Okay, now you can spam all you want about PO. I'm guessing that's what you were doing anyways, right? Let's see. I think we could benefit from some bushiness from down here. Let's grab one of these trees as well. Put it right there. Check that out. That's quite the entrance to this neighborhood. Kind of like it. Let's grab some of these ultra tiny bushes here and see what we can do. You were spamming about Pitalmo, but yeah. P.O.'s spam coming up. Just want like clusters of these kind of growing between the pavement and the fence. Just to make it a little bit less perfect, you know. But I think that actually works. So I'm thinking we need to continue this fence over there all the way. Let's grab it real quick. Stop snapping to things. All the snapping options are off. Why do you keep snapping? I'm gonna snap. Your face, I'm gonna snap. Also, this stretch between these two nodes is way too far, so let's bring it down so that it looks more realistic. In fact, let's try to match the post with the light. Just because. Okay, never mind. It just created another node. I definitely need a mod. I think someone is working on a mod, by the way. I got a tweet from what was his name? Here, I'm gonna pull it up. The guy who makes who made that sloping mod should be down here somewhere. Maybe, perhaps. Oh, thank you, Twitter, for hiding all the actual notifications I want to see. Electrics. He's tweeted me the other day. Apparently, he's working on a mod that allows you to create nodes or like split the segments into multiple nodes, which would be amazing. Really looking forward to that. There we go. Now we have an evenly placed fence. Yes, electrics. Wait, what? I'm pretty sure I made Cuboid also a mod before. All right, now you are. I don't even know how Nydal works. I like enabled it thinking it was just gonna fix everything, and apparently it's not. So, yeah. Honestly, I wish I didn't even need Nydal. At least for moderation. I guess I can disable it for moderation and only keep it for the commands. But I haven't even have like, I don't have like good commands either. I have like uptime and a few of those. Cool. Okay. I might be able to continue this path over here all the way to the top. Why don't we try that? Where's the node on this road? Here. Great. That's actually really cool. Let's see. If we add a line of these guys. Basically up to there. And now we just add a whole bunch of these sort of scattered around with gaps in between. We don't want it to be like too landscape and manicured, even more so than it already is. Why does this have so much concrete here? Go away, concrete. Except for this little tip, this, I want it to be concrete. There we go. Holy crap. We have some bits from Arcos 9000, finally catching a live stream. Watch a whole lot of your content and have enjoyed it all. Well, thank you so much, and thank you for the bits. That's very kind of you and very generous. Hope I can keep delivering content that you guys enjoy. Yeah. I wonder why you actually watch that you really enjoyed, because sometimes I get messages from people saying like, oh, I just binge watch like Cedar Valley. I'm like, oh no, don't watch that, it's terrible. Go watch maybe like Sinu, but even Sinu is like borderline, like where I'm already feeling not great about it. And eventually that's gonna happen with Nydal as well. But yeah, seriously, thank you. Thank you for the bits. Much appreciated. Let's see. I think we need some taller trees. I don't want to keep using the leafy ones just yet. I want like something a little bit darker, so maybe these guys will be a better fit. Ideally the shorter version of these guys. You know which one I haven't used in a while, which is sort of like the signature tree of Nydal, is this freaking pines. Yeah, we need a lot of those. I mean, not a lot, but just I want to have like a little cluster of pines, because it does make sense for us to use pines. They're kind of oversized in certain areas, but I mean, that looks good. It kind of sort of brings everything together, which is also nice. You're actually binge watching SimCity 4? Yeah, I mean, yeah, that series I'm like not super like, oh man, that was terrible kind of thing. I feel like it still somewhat holds up these days. So, yeah. But I'm glad you're enjoying it. What can I say? Let's see. Let's grab some more bushes and try to like make things look a little bit more interesting. Something along those lines. There we go. What should we do here in the corner? It's kind of an odd shape. So let's see. We could have a statue. No, I don't want a statue there. Too big. Actually, this is kind of a perfect fit right here. What kind of building is this? This is a 135 euro 1. Okay. Except now it kind of messed up my path there. Can I somehow... Maybe I can clip it enough on this other building that it will get us a much nicer thing? I mean, it looks nice, but it's also kind of out of place. Let's see if we can find something better. There must be something better. Or we can have like one of these stands. Actually, I kind of wanted to do that here so that people can like... Oh, dude, this is a perfect fit here. Let's see if we can nudge it in place. This is actually really good that I just did this. Except the fence needs to go though. Unless I move this way out of place like that. So the fence, while it's still there, it at least is kind of integrated with the back part of this building. Obviously we'll have to get rid of these two guys. But yeah, that actually, it's kind of awesome. I feel like now I need more like tables, but yeah, that's actually fine. Yeah, maybe I need to add like maybe get rid of this bench. So if I move these benches here, I could also move the fountain here, like right in the middle. Actually, you know what? Let's use better benches because I feel like these ones are a bit too long. We can do better. We will do better. What are you getting stuck on? There we go. So we could bring these down over here, right where the slope ends. And we can have like 3 of them instead. And maybe we can add 3 more over here. They're kind of close together, but I don't know. Let me play with it first. So we can have something like that. I could maybe move them a little bit closer to the edge, like so. Maybe push these back a little bit. Maybe get this trash can. Actually, we don't need the trash can because there's already one in the building. So let's get rid of that and let's grab some tables. Why not? Could be like this sketchy vanilla tables. Or these ones. Fountain is kind of like in the middle. I might need to get rid of it. Yeah, let's get rid of it. I mean, something like that could work. Let's bring this up a touch, as well as this one, as well as this one. Maybe this one too. Why not? And now we need some of these umbrellas. Is there a better color that I can choose? I like the yellow ones, actually, quite a bit. Something like that. I mean, that kind of works. Maddie says, "Oh, you're online. First time checking you on Twitch. Well, welcome. And glad you made it. We've been streaming for almost 4 hours. I think I'm gonna wrap things up around the 4-hour mark, just so you know. 'Cause I can already tell that my voice is like slowly fading away. And honestly, we accomplished quite a bit. I mean, just look at this neighborhood. It's sort of coming together very nicely. Let's see if we can bump this up just a touch. There we go. Sweet. And maybe this, bring it down just a touch as well. I have some signs for like shops that I got. I mean, there's like strawberries, just 3. Sure, yeah. Some strawberries are being sold here. But like I have all these signs. These are all like kind of old French signs. Wow, it's actually really large. I want like a much smaller sort of coffee shop sign, but I wanted to put a sign up there. Not on the side though. Or actually this could be like a burger joint. Could be a burger joint. Like something like that. This is the most hipster thing ever. I love it. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Well, thank you, Maddie. That's very kind of you. You're hoping to start some City Skylines stream? Dude, but yeah, by all means. The more, the better. Streaming cities is actually a ton of fun, as well as recording. The one thing I don't enjoy, like, I mean, I don't hate it by any means, but the part that I don't enjoy very much about making, you know, cities videos or videos in general is like recording commentary after the fact. Like, it's some days it feels kind of a chore, and it's not super fun, but you got to do it. I mean, you don't have to do it, but it certainly helps if you do it. I think what I'm going to do here is just straight up put some... Yeah, let's add another fence. Let's close this up here. And... you know what? Let's do the stone wall, because I feel like the stone wall works better. No, let's do hedges. Let's do the hedge thing. Select the node, bring the hedge over here. By the way, I would like to remind everyone that this is, I mean, this is just, it's not just me playing CDs, but you are free to ask me anything. It's also a bit of a Q&A, so don't be shy. If you have technical questions, if you have, I don't know, other types of questions, I may even give out my social security number on stream if you ask me nicely. So yeah. That way you can like open up credit cards, do all kinds of things. I feel like this one is a little bit too heavy of a hedge, at least for this part. Let's see if we can upgrade this. Yeah, this one's much nicer. Is this longer or shorter? This is taller. What about this one? This one is much shorter. This one is even more shorter than the previous one. More shorter than the previous one. Great, I can English. Yeah, I'm gonna keep that. I'm gonna do a little pocket of green here. The view is awesome. Yeah, the view is definitely. This is some prime real estate right here. Hell of a view. Matty says, well, well, close to 3,000 hours in game now since launch. Have a lot of friends who like to watch me build on Steam, so give it a try. Wow, okay. But I watch you and some others to get a little and get a little nervous. Oh, dude, don't be nervous. I'm not even that good. Have you seen what other people are doing? Holy crap. It is nervous, like, oh, like if you're I'm guessing from what you're saying that you're sort of streaming to like a very small private crowd type thing. I can see how it might be a little bit nervous if you go public with your stream, but it's easy to overcome that. It's just the figure is only like the first few seconds. After that, it's all good. All right, let's see. And, you know, the more you do it, the more you get used to it, too. All right, so we're going to cover this whole wall in vines. If we can. There we go. So let's grab some flowers. What is this? It's like an abandoned tiny house of sorts. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Maybe add some flower beds in here for good measure. I mean, that sort of works. And Ooh, wooden floor. I didn't know this was a thing. Let me see what else I can add. I'm not really feeling these flower planter thingies, but we can have like some like this, some like decals, and I think we can grab some of these planet pots of some kind. I guess I don't need that extra one over here. We can get rid of that one. I mean, we can literally just leave it this as an empty lot like that. It's not too bad. What I do want to do is extend the this wooden fence all the way up to probably here, and curve this way. Something like that. I like to make my city starting from a real map. How can do it? It's a port town, and working with sea and water is difficult using the map editor. So, okay, the map editor is like the first step of many. Ideally, I mean, you honestly wouldn't be doing much in the map editor. Just get the base. Let's say you get the okay, let me try to get my thoughts together. So you can get terrain party to export the height map of the real place you're trying to recreate. You pour that into the map editor. You apply some like very basic terraforming, tweaks like smoothing things out, stuff like that. And if you want, you can add some trees, but very minimal. And obviously what you want to do there for the most part is just adding maybe some freeway connections and some planes and ship routes and stuff like that. I'm assuming that you're aiming for like a detailed kind of oriented build. So that's basically all you need. If you want to play more vanilla, you might have to add a few more things. But once you're done with that, then you like open up the map into a save game, and that's where you actually do the real detailing. The map editor is like is very basic. You don't get too far there. So yeah, most of the detail work will be done in game, which means that the map will be kind of barren unless you're planning on releasing that in the workshop. I honestly, if you look at the maps that I have in the workshop, for example, the Nydal map is like not nearly as detailed as this one is. This one I've spent way more time in game just tweaking things, so that's something to keep in mind. My internet speed sucks. It's like 2 megs up. Do you think I'm better off just doing YouTube videos instead of streaming? Yes. I mean, technically you can get away by streaming at like 720p or 480p with that upload bandwidth. It's probably not super watchable in terms of image quality, but the key thing is getting a good microphone. So people will actually sit through a terrible, like low resolution stream or video for that matter, as long as the microphone sounds good. If you don't have a decent microphone, like no matter if you're streaming in 4K, like people are gonna leave. So audio is way more important than image quality. But yeah, with that kind of upload, maybe start on videos. Also, in general, if you want to sort of develop an audience, at least what works for me is actually have like Twitch is awful for discovery. So even if you start streaming with like an amazing connection, it's very hard for people to find you. So it's best if you start developing an audience on a much more discoverable, friendly platform like YouTube. YouTube has a much better search algorithm or flow that people might actually find your channel. On Twitch is impossible. Like search on Twitch is just garbage. At least for now it is. So that's something also to consider. If you want to get started, doing this much more seriously, you might want to start on YouTube and then migrate to Twitch. But you can also upload videos to Twitch if you want to do that. The map editor is frustrating because it doesn't render the terrain the same way as the game mode. It renders the mesh much more chunky, so it's easy to mess up map details. Yeah, that's also true. Partially. It's not, I mean, I didn't notice a huge difference, but yeah, it's, I don't know. I feel like I have way more control in terraforming in game, especially because I'm doing a lot of terraforming with networks as opposed to the actual brush tools and stuff like that. It looks like that lot would have leftover lumber just sitting in it, like someone planned to fix it but never got around to it. Oh, that might be a thing. Let's give that a shot. Well, maybe it is actually getting ready for prime time. I feel like if I put this, it's just a construction site. So it's like I think the edges here, the hedges, sorry, are a little bit too manicured for that. But I could just, I mean, in an area of the city as fancy as this, you wouldn't have like a empty lot that looks like totally broken. So that's why I'm sort of trying to avoid doing that. But I think something like this actually kind of works. Let's see if I can get that to look like that. One thing I could do is just park cars. Like literally grab the ruin texture. So that way we get rid of the grass clusters and have some cars parked. I feel like that makes a little bit more sense, perhaps, or maybe even gravel. Yeah, something like that actually kind of works. I don't think I've plopped any car, like just like actually parked. Do I even have? I don't think I have cars. I mean, I saw there. What is this? Chevy Volt. I guess we can have a Chevy Volt just sitting there. So this is like a lot. You know what? We can even, just to make it more official, this is like the city like giving up on putting proper parking spaces. So they just like, I like this idea a lot actually. So we can have something like that. And of course there's a parking meter because, you know, they need to profit from this empty lot. So this I feel like makes a little bit much more sense. Not like it's clearly marked or anything. What other cars do I have? Really? I don't have any cars? Props is what I want to see. Oh yeah, we have some cars in here. So like you need to be, wow, this Audi A3 is like wider than the Chevy Volt. I don't think so. Do we have like, what kind of wood beams do we have? Because this could be the separator for parking spaces actually. Is there a shorter one? Yeah, there's a shorter one. Yeah, actually, this is an awesome idea. Let's grab this parking meter thing. So we're gonna move the Chevy Volt over there. This one over there, and now it looks like more like an official parking lot. Something like that. There we go. Let's bring this bad boy up there just a little bit. Fantastic. wait, what's the other one? Oh yeah, we have some cars in here. Let's do another, like a Fiat 500. Oh yeah, that's a nice color. Dude, I really like this car, like in real life. Kind of want to get the electric version of this car, but I don't have anywhere to charge it because I live in an apartment complex and they have like 2 EV chargers on like the opposite end of the place, and it's like twice as expensive as getting gas on my regular car, so screw that. But man, you know what? This should be like right here on the pavement. So we can have that. We should probably put down some bollards so that people don't run into it. Maybe a little bit lower to the ground, something like that. And oh, this is just handicap. Okay, I want like regular parking signs, like for everyone. Well, I guess they're all handicap. This one says no parking. Okay. I guess this one will be the one that will be for handicap people. I don't know. Yeah, especially because it's like the larger one. So we can have something like that. Sorry, I noticed that chat was going out, but I was like so focused into this. Let's see. Could be a place to let your dog relieve itself too. Yeah, we already have a dog park. We literally just work on a dog park right here. Actually, do we have any dirt decals? That would be a thing. Oh, that's giant. No. Is there any one of these that's like mildly small? All right, I guess not. Yeah, I guess this is not like the most accessible sort of parking space for handicap humans because of the terrain differences. Maybe if I pave this, it might look better. I mean, that kind of works. Something like that. See, that's much better. Do we have the bumpers? We must have the bumpers. We don't have the parking bumpers? Oh man, we're missing some assets in here. I guess this one's would have the bumper or not. Probably the ones in this menu do have that. Okay, we're gonna make this work. The problem is I can't bring this up, and it's like kind of hidden down there. I can fix the clipping issue with the surface painter, with a pulpable surface. Sorry, but yeah, I guess I can just grab one of these and call it a day. Oh, here's some things that I could use. There we go. That's a parking bumper right there. It's not perfect, but it is something. All right. Don't forget the electric thing. Well, oh yeah, I guess these are all electric, huh? Well, I mean, I don't know about this one, but the other ones are. I don't think I have the like an asset for that, unfortunately. I mean, I could do like a thing like this between each of the spots. There could be like that could be the charger. I don't know. I mean, that kind of works. I'm okay with that. Yeah, why not? Let's bring this one a little bit down like so. Yeah, dude, I'm pretty happy with this. I think I want to wrap this one up here. Let's let's go scroll down. So we can take a quick tour of everything that we did, and then I want to call it. So welcome to Nydal. Those of you who are just joining on the stream at the very end, at least you'll get to see what we did. By the way, at the risk of sounding like a broken record, this is a series that I started on YouTube. It's still happening on YouTube. In fact, the next episode should be out tomorrow or on Monday. Episode 20, that is. You can watch the full playlist, and you can find that on my YouTube channel. But every once in a while, I'll hop in on Twitch and do a whole bunch of detail work live on camera, as I did today. This VOD is also going to be uploaded to my YouTube channel later on, probably in the middle of the week. So you can watch that in glorious 1440p. And yeah, let's take a look at what we built. So we've sort of started, well, let's actually go back to this other area where we started. This is the original suburb neighborhood that I started working on several episodes ago. But at the beginning of the stream, we like plopped down this house right here, and at this other house, which still look nice. They haven't been replaced by assets that don't necessarily belong. We have a community garden right here in the front. We should probably try to replicate that on the other suburb at some point as well. This could be a nice addition to the neighborhoods. Over here we have a central station, which is very much undetailed. This is missing a lot of detail. In fact, why do we have segments of electric tracks? By the way, I've been seriously considering upgrading everything to electric because, I mean, why not? I have diesel trains, but I could also change those. Another thing that kind of happened is what you're about to see right now. We have trams for Nydal. The N-Link trams, still very much a work in progress. Bicyclehausen is actually being a huge help, and he's doing most of the heavy lifting in terms of having this tram be a thing that actually works. Because right now we're having some issues with the length of the vehicle and how it sort of pivots on turns. You're going to see it in a second as it approaches this turn right here. Check this out. This is going to be painful. Brace yourselves. Look at the diagram, the diaphragms. It's like offset. We're trying to like figure out what the best location is for this to pivot. I'm thinking like this turn should be like much closer to here, but then again, the nose of the cab is just going to spread out too much on the curve when we do that. So one idea we've been toying around is actually splitting this in half. So have like smaller chunks or smaller segments for this. But I love the design. I think the color scheme and the logo and everything else, it's like amazing. This is a model that Jay put together. It's based off a Citadis, Aslam Citadis, if I'm not mistaken. Very common in Europe for sure. But yeah, it looks great here. And another thing that we're slowly working on is this sort of taller, more financial kind of district. Probably going to tackle that in the next episode, actually, in episode 21, that is. Trying to get like much better assets. Most of these are vanilla, in case you didn't know. Almost all of these are vanilla. I don't want to show you in detail because I don't want to spoil the next episode because that's when I build that there. But we have a whole bunch of work that I did over here as well that we need to come back to. But in this live stream, for the most part, what we worked on is this suburb right here as we transition from this medium density area into a low density area. And one of the first things that we put together is this fancy gentrified friendly kind of building that is very green on all accounts. It has a ton of green props all over the place, and we sort of worked on the edges of it a little bit, adding a tiny pool there with some vegetation and trees and bushes and the likes of that. It's a very interesting building. There's even people right there in the building. You can see them just getting that vitamin D from the sun, even though she's kind of floating up in the air, but that's okay. We'll forgive her for not respecting the laws of gravity. We also put down these buildings, and as we go through here, we need to like add some vegetation here as well. We'll probably do that off camera, but yeah, this neighborhood right here, it's really nice. I love how it came out. We also have all these like shortcuts. These are functional shortcuts that people can take in order to walk across the different streets instead of having to go all the way around. What else do we have here? Yeah, we have all these like fancy houses with some level of front/backyards. Definitely need to add a bit more detail here, but so far, so good. A 5-car tram instead of a 3. Yeah, I think it's actually going to be, yeah, I think it's going to end up being a 5. Oh my god. What is happening here? Oh my god, that's pretty funny. I love how narrow all the details around this road is just like so postcard like, except for this. I think it's because I have like a mishmash of networks and it causes issues like that. That's okay. It's fine. Just ignore that. Moving along, we have this other street where we added quite a few details. We have some less manicured hedges, as well as houses sitting in front of this street. And then we have this like back area where we have some EV chargers and some handicap spaces for the people living here, and probably the people living just down here as well. Here's another one of those shortcuts. We did this one in the previous live stream, by the way, but as you can see, people are actually using it. And over here, this is another area we put special attention into, and I love like getting the camera into this thing. Oh my god, you're going way too fast, bro. I guess I can just keep the speed at 50% or whatever that is. Some interesting angles to see around here. Let me turn around and climb up this road. Looks kind of steep, but it's and sketchy. Like if you were driving here, you're like, oh my god, we're about to die on this turn, but it's not too bad. So as we approach this turn, we get into this little roundabout, and we also fixed a whole bunch of these roundabouts all over the city. Now we have the arrows pointing the right way. I can't believe I didn't realize we had that asset all this time. We have a bit of a burger joint here with some tables and some benches to observe the future financial district that we may have back there. And at the same time, we worked on this sort of doggy park / playground. So we have a lot of children playing and a lot of people just, I guess, smelling dog poop all over this place. And yeah, we also put some time and effort into detailing this area, even though we haven't gotten this far yet, but eventually we will. Let's turn the camera this other way, and oh yeah, we have this little coffee shop here and a little back alley sort of entrance that connects the back of all these houses in a very aesthetically pleasing fashion, if I do say so myself. And finally, what we just working on a second ago, which is this parking lot for EVs, apparently, that is just sitting there on this somewhat of an empty lot. It's a little bit rougher around the edges on purpose,
just the city had that empty lot. Nobody would want to buy it. I mean, probably someone would want to buy it, but the city is like, no, we need that space for parking, I guess. But I think that pretty much covers everything we did during the stream. So yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. Let's see if I can nail this, because I got like a little thing for the outro now. Is that even working? No, it's not. Okay, I need to actually switch to that. That's my transition. Holy crap, it's overexposed. Oh, because the sun is out. That would explain it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap things up for today. Thank you so much for tuning into the stream. You might also be interested in checking out my YouTube channel if you haven't yet, as well as my Twitter account. But yeah, that's pretty much all for now. Thank you for watching, and hope to see you in the next one. That was so laggy. I'll get that. Bye guys.